Now let's see here. Put that right there. There we go. And put that. That. Let me just go like Alt click. There we go. There we go. That's good. I like it like that. Now let me go back to Steve Kornacki. Yep, I am live. That is perfect. I don't think Georgia is an option anymore, chat. Oh, good. Oh, good. Then again, it looks like the metro area of Georgia hasn't been reported yet. That's where Washington is? Didn't think it would be on the border. Oh, God, that explains how much of American I am. Okay, okay. It's 3 to 23, but it's road to 270. I like to call it the Red Scare, or like the scare for like the first part, because it's usually the southern states that are better known to choose that is picked right away. I just hate seeing that projected winner. Does not make me happy. Does not make me happy. But it doesn't help that the economy was a little under. Okay, let me see that electoral map. It was updated recently. Alright, let me refresh this. Yep, it's up to date. It's only at 2%, that's why. But it's getting the counties without the big cities. So like Fayetteville, Greensboro, Charlotte, and Raleigh. I feel like more cities areas. As you can see, I think Charleston's could be a big one, but Columbia. Dude, even outside counties are like getting it. But also Atlanta area. Macomb, Savannah is being reported. Any blue? No, not a single blue. So Ohio. Yeah, but it's at 7%. This one's not called. North and Virginia are not called. 100,000 difference. Oh, more reportings are. Whoa, that was a big jump. Okay. It literally went from 70 to 104,000. I'm confident in New Hampshire. Rhode Island is not going to be for a while. DC for a while. What did Ground News say? Stop the count right there. I'm joking. I think I watched that earlier. Trying to think of like what to do to fill the void. Because right now is just like consumption time. Like just getting all the shit that I can get. YouTube, how we doing? How we doing? Hope the YouTube stream is going well. I really hope I'm not breaking any copyright claims by watching this. I should probably mute that, but I will turn him up for some.
Yeah, I think you are cooked, but just you.
Just you.
Look at this and you go, all right, well, I guess it's over.
It's Jover.
This is Jover.
It's Jover now.
Donald Trump won West Virginia, Indiana, and Kentucky.
Oh yeah, it's Jover.
What does this say about the country?
We're over. It's over. It's over. He won Indiana.
Unless there is,
just kidding.
unless there's like you know, some noticeable shifts. Like this could be, I guess, 8% swing in a very educated suburb in Loudoun County in Virginia. 91% of the votes in. From 2020 with Biden plus 25 to 2024 with Harris plus 17. That is potentially troublesome. More troublesome than like this shit.
Yeah. That I agree with.
Then get out, like, of the country. What do you mean? Male, you watching this? Man dancing.
Masculine identity.
Oh my god.
Talk about the Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan podcast. In fact, a little while ago we were talking to two guys. One of them said that he was on the fence until he said when Kamala did not go on the Joe Rogan podcast, that was what influenced his vote. He ended up voting for Trump.
Are you fucking kidding me? A stupid podcast influenced someone's vote?
I'm not kidding when I say this. This is like, there are real people like this. And I told you motherfuckers that there are people like this, and you didn't listen to me. Okay? This is the United States of America. Of course there are people who are like...
Because things are starting to go more streaming, more podcast-like.
How else I could describe
anything, any new stuff been reported? Georgia is cooked, man. North Carolina is looking a little better. 62, 53.2. As long as she holds the line, as long as she holds it, that's a good direction.
I didn't know my eggs moved there. Goddamn. Yeah, no, that's like...
No, I don't think Ohio.
We have a lot of guests. Stop licking yourself like that. That's inappropriate.
Central time, so 9 o'clock. 7 o'clock for Michigan.
It's not a matter of do these people exist. It's more so a matter of
any time Pennsylvania should be
for Donald Trump, because these people certainly exist. They're out there.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Wait.
The single issue is whether she voted Joe Rogan or not. Yeah. I mean, Americans.
Let me see. North Carolina.
Like,
let me see.
Common trope is like, is the president the type of guy I can have a beer with? It's not that shocking. It's not that shocking at all that people would be making these calculations. Anyway, Democrats in particular might be ready to elect a woman. Yeah, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, see, my county, my house goes all the way in this area. Pete Stauber keeps winning that.
Harris is preparing to speak tonight regardless of vote status. Sources. There's an expectation she might speak. I assume that she'll try to do another unity message while, you know, Donald Trump is fucking running the table and saying that 3 minutes until the big polls close. Yeah.
Big polls? Oh, fuck. Yo, what?
People do more research on what to buy than who to vote for. That is literally true, yes.
Ohio. Dude, Ohio is in fucking play. What the fuck is this? What is this? What the fuck? It's at 14%, but still.
Is Ohio lead real or am I libbed up? This was fun. Now I'm anxious and bored. Wait, what do you mean? Nothing has happened yet. Virtually nothing has happened yet. Like there's nothing that has occurred yet. The needle has not moved in any direction so far. It might get tricky. It might get scary later in the night, but so far
Yeah.
there isn't anything that's
Yeah, it's so like early right now. The only stuff that's been called is the prominent stuff.
Rick Scott told us earlier this was the first time he's ever run for state office where he's actually been predicted to win. He said that's largely because of a strong performance in early voting, more than 8 million Floridians.
I want to explain something to you guys, but this man right here, one of the richest, if not the richest member of Congress, he is famous for doing insurance fraud. Okay.
Oh boy.
And the state of Florida fucking voted for him as governor, regardless of that.
Damn.
Or maybe they did
That's
it for
crazy.
that reason. I don't know. I just
That
gave
is
up on
crazy.
the entirety of the state of Florida a long time ago.
Kornacki Cam.
I gave up on trying to understand like what motivates.
Seems like he's still gathering information.
Or rather,
Oh,
I have come to the
oh, okay.
recognition that
Georgia's getting
Florida
closer.
Just objectively voted for the worst person possible. Like they're like, this guy seems like a real piece of shit, and I fucking love him for that.
22%. 24% is in. But
Motherfucker looks like
I
Voldemort.
don't think Ohio is going to be in play.
Like,
I
he doesn't
don't
even
think.
pass the optics test.
We know has really been trending toward the left.
4%.
Swing to the right by 8 points compared to 2020. So you look at something like that, you understand why Karl Rove today said it could be tight in Virginia. Fayette, Georgia, Trump +2. That's a place that I had said early on, Harris will have to do well there to compete in Georgia.
Polls are closing.
Also, as Pennsylvania closes its
Oh no,
polls,
it's
Brett, I
Jover.
think it's worth,
Tennessee's gone to Donald Trump.
noting, Martha, that this
Oh,
no.
Maryland.
The Democrats are up big. Maryland goes.
Maryland.
Kamala Harris.
Maryland.
Oh no, Missouri goes to Donald Trump. It's Jover again.
It's Joe.
Alabama to Donald Trump. Oh no, it's Jover. Oklahoma to
Oklahoma.
Donald Trump. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay,
Never mind,
there they are.
Columbia. We're back up.
Okay, we got DC. We got DC. Ohio's still at the same. Virginia's still at the same. North Carolina. Why is North Carolina only at 4?
Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island.
Connecticut, and of course Pennsylvania as well. Let's show you what we can right now.
But then again, these are all the southern. Out of like all the southern and a couple East Coast, I like to call like this line the southern belt. Like Missouri is kind of more Midwest. Missouri's not necessarily southern.
Reacted to all those Trump wins. What?
The numbers here, and I see you've got Virginia up there, which is a potential bellwether, something that might give us some indication about how.
Oh no, no, no. It just started reporting Texas. Pennsylvania just started reporting Ohio. Oh god. But let's see. Let's see. Election map interactive. Let's do a little test here. I want the interactive one.
Get naked, baby. Come on, Chad.
Oh yeah, I was messing with this. That's why. Can I?
1%
There
of
we go.
votes counted.
So let's say.
1% of expected votes. Shut up.
Likely. Now let's say Wisconsin somehow goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Like even if it's like that. But let's say Michigan does end up, and we do get. Let's say Texas is actually red, and Nevada goes blue. Florida was called for Trump. Kind of figured. I mean, look at that difference. Oh no. Oh my god, Ohio has a decent lead. New Jersey, that's obvious. Pennsylvania, 8%.
Taking Biden out back already. Biden will not attend Harris election night watch party. It's way past his bedtime. That's like really
Way past his bedtime, dude.
expect him to attend that.
35.95. It's because he got Florida. I don't want to. No. I'm getting sick. Oh my god. Oh my god. North Carolina, I'm scared. Because I don't think Georgia's in play.
Chatters who don't understand, I do this every election cycle. States like, you know, Alabama, fucking Missouri, or states like even Florida at this point can be called fairly early because maybe not like each individual, maybe not the Senate runs, but like
the presidential runs are obviously going to red.
An official call, right? The official votes are not.
Jerry, I think it's obvious. I voted for Kamala. I voted for Kamala.
Later, 2 weeks later, in some instances, right?
This is kind of like the predictor I'm going with. I'm kind of leaning like North Carolina might, but even so, if she doesn't get it, but she gets all these other states. But then again, if she does, North Carolina could be the big factor. That could also be say that is all red, and he, gets that. I mean, still, what was the 269 to 269? Not that. 267. Imagine if it's this. You're not that into it. It doesn't matter to you. Yeah. Just let you know, I'm just doing election coverage tonight. Tomorrow I'll go back to my standard stuff. I hope it doesn't go for like 2 or 3 days. This is the only night I'm gonna cover it. If it does go furthermore, then I'm not gonna.
5+1. First college town fully in. So Trump has made some gains in a college town by 5 points, but now once again, college town votes being college town pass.
One thing that sucks is most of the blue states lost a lot of
because, you know, now
like
actually in college.
It like Colorado got one and Oregon got one, but like Florida got one and Texas got
I feel like it's
2. North Carolina got one, but
younger college goers are
let me refresh this. This one surprised me the most. It's 100,000 difference. What the fuck, Ohio? Out of all states, I did not expect Ohio to go this way. I heard that yeah, it's really close because when they first report, it's all the southern states. So what they're counting on is like, so like say I go into Georgia, see most of the red, some of it is in like the countryside, but like see Atlanta has some areas that hasn't been, like this area is usually the blue area, and maybe down here too. I can't go further into it, it's only at 35%. Texas is very close with only 11% reporting. I don't think Texas is in play. I think Texas is a red state. They have been talking about that in my school. Yeah, so like the big counties, so like say Minnesota. I am up here. So my county is this long strip right here. Minneapolis has, or like the Minneapolis area, Minneapolis has its own, St. Paul has its own. But like generally this little square is majority where Minneapolis people live. And this strip down here I like to call the Red Wall of Minnesota. And then Wisconsin, I think it's Door County, which is this little handle. That county has predicted every single election. So if it goes red, Trump. Wait, Michigan's already reporting. Okay, that's cool. That's at 2%. Ohio's at 31%. Oh my god, are they gonna... 26%, 51 to 46. That's actually... I'm getting... Well, okay. Okay, North Carolina, okay. I kind of like this little blue circle right here. You're gonna be here for a bit, but I'm taking care of your sister. Want to make sure she doesn't make something dumb. I'm curious. Is your sister young? Like, do you kind of like babysit her sometimes?
What do you think about? Oh my God. Oh God.
Where it seems that Kamala Harris is underperforming, and as you well know, the suburbs in the battleground.
I was like saying, why is he saying, oh my God? Connecticut. Wow, I love how they're reporting Kamala is going to win these without reporting. But also at the same time, this is like another blue wall right here. I'm still shocked by Ohio. Out of all states, I did not expect Ohio. But then again, states like California, Arizona is a swing state. California has yet to be reported, and that has a total of 54 electoral votes. Now, electorals are like certain electors. So, like, Kamala can have 90 million versus Trump's 80 million, but Trump could still win due to the electoral system, which is why a lot of people, you used to babysit her all day, but now you have a job? Okay. Gotcha. Oh, is Steve talking? Steve is talking. Steve is talking. Okay, Steve, what you got for me? What you got for me, buddy? What you got for me?
Trend there. So again, 37% of the vote is in right now. That's what it looks like statewide. A big one that's empty here is Gwinnett. This is another huge one that's empty. This is DeKalb County.
DeKalb, I remember that from 2020.
Some of it's inside the perimeter here. It's about half black. There's a large college-educated white population, very Democratic friendly. Huge number you can expect for Democrats out of here. We haven't seen anything from that yet. And I also think we've got some numbers here. Yes.
Yeah. Pennsylvania is starting to report, but it's way too early for Pennsylvania. 5% in.
300,000 votes.
I like to go to Google because
we talk about this early
refreshing it. See,
voting,
Texas went red.
People are doing in other states. They don't really have that in Pennsylvania. It's pretty much just vote by mail or vote same day. And what's happening in most of Pennsylvania tonight is
Virginia is getting pretty close.
Is going to all be reported out first.
Holy
and then
fuck.
same day. And we expect a pretty clear division, unlike in some other states where the vote by mail we think will be very heavily Democratic and the same day will be more heavily Republican.
Kansas is starting to report. Oh my. Oh, it's 1%. That's why.
And there's more to come. This is a giant batch, all of vote by mail. Philadelphia.
Can you guys hear the YouTube video fine?
Get a little bit better for Trump as more votes come in, but that's what you've got right there. You've got all the vote by mail, perhaps, in Allegheny County, or a very good chunk of it. Again, Pittsburgh is about 1.2 million people. The inner suburbs around Pittsburgh.
You know what?
Heavily Democratic.
I'm gonna have a little buddy with
big Democratic number there, and also in Lancaster County, well, only about 700 votes there. So really, the two big cities in the state have come in. We're getting a little bit more now.
Come on, Evie.
County and a few others, but again, you can expect it's the vote by mail first in Pennsylvania, so you can expect Harris to have a pretty substantial lead in these early, in the early hour,
dude,
and a half, whatever it is.
you were holding a big shit the whole school an hour, and you got destroyed. Oh my god, a blinker. Even though I smoke nicotine, I do not smoke weed. I've tried that. It is not for me. That is why I'm not against it. It's just not for me, if that makes sense. More reports come out. Still looks the same. 276, 707. Ohio.
Just checking in on a couple others there, but so Pennsylvania again, and I'm just seeing if anything else came in.
Trying to think of what other sites to cover. I can't remember what I covered.
Two biggies. So we set this up earlier. Oakland County, remember, this is gigantic suburbia, high income, high concentration of college degrees right outside Detroit. Now, what you're getting here again in Michigan, they overhauled elections.
It's really hard to say, Jerry. It's only 7 o'clock my time and probably 6 o'clock your time. Usually reports don't come out till 8 or 9 o'clock your time. Like, that's when they'll have a better picture, per se. Texas, I was starting to become hopeful, but I don't think Texas is gonna go anywhere. Ohio is, I'm still surprised by Ohio, man. These are still at low percentages. North Carolina's looking, no, but Pennsylvania, who knows? Only Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Erie, parts of Philadelphia, that is why. But, ooh. By the way, this is where I was in New Jersey, down in this area. I went through the whole state, essentially. This is my little stress ball. I'm sorry, Evie, but... It's a stressful night, man. It's a stressful night. I don't know how much passion I put into this. On the offside, I am very political sometimes. So that must be Kent County. That usually goes red from what I've heard. 306. Oh, wow. More reporting. And it's looking pretty good. 96 to 306. Nothing yet for Ohio. North Carolina at the same. Virginia. Virginia.
To quickly finish Michigan, and then we're going to check in on North Carolina. In Michigan again, 8 p.m. Almost all the polls.
Yes, I keep refreshing it because this is like, oh shit. So that went up a little bit. Okay, it's getting a little closer in Virginia, a little scary close too. Georgia, what the fuck? What's harassment?
Is a traditionally Republican region that has moved pretty strongly.
All right, bro. Catch you later. Yeah, I'll see you later, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by.
Trump has lost a lot of traditional Republican support. So the question in this county, this is Kent County.
Oh, to your plushie. You know what?
It's a city of about 200,000 people.
I should use a different one. This is the one Caitlin got me.
Up to double digits, and they love to make further progress in this region.
I'll do this one.
Democrats see a lot of room for growth.
A little bit more squishy.
That's Grand Traverse County, where Traverse City, Michigan is. Both parties sent their candidates to Traverse City a couple times here. This part of Michigan.
Let's see. 8%, 30%, 6%. And that is not looking good. That is not looking good. Illinois is coming in, but that one it was a given. You'll report me to the FBI later. Oh boy. Wait, what? For animal abuse? Come on, dude. I'm joking. What the? Oh, it's early reporting. It's early reporting. No, there's no way Kansas is gonna.
Now about 10% in here in North Carolina, and again, you see that. Check in here. I haven't actually seen them, so I'm looking right now. Again, Wake County. This is
These are all fucking close, dude.
Single Democratic vote producing counties in the state. Not much in. Democrats just want massive margins here in Durham County here, Orange County, Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina. Also,
Chaperone.
Not much here right now, but it's sort of they call it the triad. This is where Greensboro is in this county. You go over to Forsyth County. This is where Winston-Salem is. They're red now with almost no votes in, but these are core Democratic counties.
Holy.
Want to see those take shape.
Double.
And I want to draw your attention to a county that I think is going to be very key to telling the story as it unfolds in North Carolina. It's this one right here.
70.
Don't pay attention. There's almost no vote, but Union County is massive. It is a big bedroom community suburb of Charlotte, Mecklenburg County.
Oh, yep. Texas is not in play.
Core Republican county. The banking industry is very big in the Charlotte area. It's sort of a bedroom communities made by the banking industry. Maybe think of it that way. Just take a look though at Union County. Here's the trend. Again, it's slippage for Trump. It's more dramatic in other suburbs around the country. Trump won here by more than 30 points in 2016.
I feel like it's gonna take a while, as you can see. What? Wait. How should go up a million?
Shrank in North Carolina. He just didn't squeeze as much out of these big core.
Okay, that is getting very close.
Instead of 30, and I think that's a very good bellwether gauge tonight. As you see this county come in, is Trump falling short of that number again? Democrats would like to chip away, get that down to 60,
Oh my God.
59, something like that. There's a number of big suburbs in the state. There are some of them, are outside.
No,
That's the story.
Oklahoma.
It's a core Republican, but does it get a little bit less so? So again, statewide now in North Carolina, it's sort of scattered. As
That's not going to be.
Counties.
Illinois reporting more.
Statewide right now, 4 points. And again, we talk
Come on, catch up to the popular vote. Then again, it's like
I'm checking these to see one thing that I'm looking
these states, and that doesn't come for another 40 minutes for Minnesota.
Significant black population. This is one of the stories in North Carolina. The Democrats in counties with large black populations think they can improve the turnout, think they can improve Democratic margins in some cases.
Okay, Anson County.
So we do have 3/4. It's very small, but this is the kind of county we're going to be looking at. There's a lot of them in rural eastern North Carolina. Not much to show you right now, but with large black populations. Barack Obama was the last Democrat to carry North Carolina. He carried some of those counties. The Democrats are kind of...
They're all the same.
We want to see it's in this eastern North Carolina area here. We want to see as these fill in, are Democrats taking strides forward there? They think they can with Kamala Harris as the nominee. They think they've improved their ground game. That'll be a test for it. So again, sitting there at about 9% statewide in North Carolina and returning to Georgia, where we now have about half of the vote in. And again, just going to take a quick look. I've struck out on this every time, but this is going to be very big when we get votes from Gwinnett. And we don't have many more from Gwinnett, but you're starting to take shape here.
They are reporting it super fast.
Area. Just see if we have any more from Fayette. I'm going to go back and take a look right here. But again, now
must be Michigan and Illinois coming in. 101,000 for Jill Stein, 93,000 for Chase Oliver. Robert Kennedy has 30,000 votes. He told everyone to not vote for him, and yet he has votes. What the hell is that, dude? Oh, God.
Okay.
What is... How's it not be out to say?
Ohio Blue Shift.
They're eating the votes. Ohio's eating the
Ohio
votes.
Copium?
Oh my God, dude.
I don't know. Out of respect for the New York Times guild, I'm not going to be looking at the Needle tonight unless they actually resolve the issues. Well, I'm not gonna be crossing the picket line and looking at the New York Times Needle tonight.
Bills are really close. Pretty close, but I don't know.
There's supposed to be a needle, but some people are saying that there is a needle.
I haven't checked Twitter in a minute. What does Twitter have to say?
2020 redo, Army of MAGA, election officials prepare to challenge results if Trump loses. Yes, that was definitely going to happen. A couple things that no matter what happens tonight, a couple things that were slated to happen is obviously going to be Trump's legal team contesting all the results and Trump most likely claiming that he won tonight. I'd be shocked if he turned around and said, said nothing tonight. What is this? As I mentioned earlier, voting in Georgia skewed older and GOP.
Dude, Polymarket gave Trump a 70% chance of winning.
Election day looks a lot bluer. We're possibly looking at a red mirage.
Trump has a 76% chance of winning.
Lived in Warren County for 6 years in
all Georgia.
Trump area. Seems like there's a 4 to 5% shift in Warren County. What? The call from the workers is to not use the cooking app or games, but also, yes, this is a joke. Not reading all... Wait, what? Will there be a needle tonight? Quick thread. As you may have read, our colleagues of the Tech Guild are on strike. While they don't play a role in the model itself, they built and maintain the infrastructure that feeds us data and let us publish on the internet. Yeah, okay, so they are.
Why is Kansas still blue?
DeSantis tweeted weed and abortion failed to pass. I don't think that they can make a projection on that yet, but that would be shocking if Florida was that fucking right wing. It would be shocking if Florida was that right wing that they literally did something that is, I guess it is over. Okay, never mind. NBC News saying that Florida has defeated the measure to legalize marijuana. Florida voters have defeated a ballot measure that would have legalized marijuana. Now, remember, for constitutional amendments, you have to get 60% of the vote, which is like, incredibly high.
Yeah.
Florida always has a tendency to pass these constitutional amendments usually. Obviously, it would have passed if it was a straight pass. Ohio might go red, 50-49. Yeah, no shit. Ohio was not. The fact that Ohio is even close right now is a good sign. Ohio was supposed to go red. This is interesting. I will say Florida's ballot measures for both abortion and
Next
weed
polls close
were
in a
slated to
little
pass.
minute.
It's still won by, I guess,
12.2
it's still won majority.
to
It just didn't win
14.6.
60%. The ballot measure for
Michigan
60% didn't
and
even pass
Pennsylvania
under
are going to be the
original
states
rule.
where
Got
there's a lot of
57%.
Jill and Chase Oliver supporters. Obviously, in Florida, there is 2. Georgia, not so many. Ohio, not a single person voted.
I don't really
Wait a
understand
minute.
how
Ohio went
more
red.
right-wing Florida has
Ohio
become,
went red.
so much so that they are.
It's Jover. It's
New
Jover,
York Times
guys.
Guild says needle is fine. Okay, I guess we can look at the needle. Ed Intermentum says the New York Times Guild says the needle is okay to look at.
Like Kansas
Not
was
that
still at
it's showing anything
7%.
good.
That's why.
The Electoral College estimate showing Trump with 277. Popular vote estimate with a 1.3 swing to Kamala Harris so far. Oh, went down to 276. Florida's right-wing migration has had really damaging results for the state. It's just getting worse and worse every single year. CNN has Trump up 12.5 in Florida. That's normal. I mean, it's over. Florida is always.
Oh, yeah,
lock.
Florida's never going to go back to blue. The one time they went back to blue, I think, was Obama, I want to say.
It's the Florida dump theory you talked about. Yeah, that's a joke. I said that we should just transfer all the conservatives in the country.
Michigan's
into
getting
Florida
awfully
and then shut off
close.
Florida from access
So
to
is
the rest of
Virginia.
the country. I was just joking when I said that. I didn't realize that people are voluntarily migrating
Oh,
to the state
God,
of
is
Florida.
it's not fully in.
Except,
North Dakota's starting to
we've looked at
report.
these
Minnesota
trends
hasn't
before,
yet.
Obviously, Florida has a plus 40 Republican lean, and this is like migration patterns. Okay, as in, like the people leaving the state versus the, people
The
coming
main
into the state of
states that are
Florida
going to
are,
influence her votes
the
are going to
state
be
of
like
Florida has
Minnesota,
a plus,
California,
all the people
Colorado is
that
going to be a
are
big
coming into
one.
Florida are overwhelmingly
Oregon and
right-wing, so
Washington.
right-wing that it's
That's
like
where
a
like
plus
majority
40.
of people are.
It's the highest.
New York hasn't been reported
in
yet
the-
for
in the
some reason.
nation. Higher than
I'll give
double
her a
the
big
amount of
boost.
Texas.
Nothing yet.
For those of you
15.8
who are
versus
wondering, this is
13.2.
the
Oh
Florida
my.
project.
Oh shit! Yeah, look at that.
Virginia went red.
I have an idea called the
Oh,
Florida
it's close.
project.
Okay.
So Donald Trump built all these miles and miles of wall, right, on the U.S.
Sorry,
Mexico
wait.
border.
Who's that?
He's the previous president. He's very cool. He's a poster. He built all this wall. I say we take all the wall, okay, and we wall around Florida, and we amplify that wall. Like it's like 4 times of wall. Have you guys ever seen Attack on Titan?
I have. Yeah.
It's like that, like multiple layers of wall, right? And then what we end up doing is we put every conservative in America, in Florida. We extract everyone that doesn't want to live in Florida outside
Yeah.
of Florida.
Ohio's
So
going
every
Trump,
conservative in Florida can
Virginia.
live their best libertarian lives,
Wow.
and then we routinely helicopter in and extract
19,000
children
difference.
They don't need to be subjected to
You're
that
gonna
abuse.
take children from their parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna.
Oh,
you're gonna helicopter
wow.
them
North
out.
Dakota, it's Jover.
No.
It's Jover.
Re-education camps,
Okay.
because like they don't. They
Kind of
shouldn't
like
be-
an internship.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's a word.
Kind
So
of
tell
like
us
that.
the spider story again.
Let's see, what does Hutch have to
That's
say?
the Florida project, which is happening voluntarily at this point.
I don't know. I don't know.
You sound genuinely joyous in the clip. I mean, it's hard to be genuinely joyous all the time, you know?
I think Twitch is freaking out. Let's
You
see.
ever just
Yep, everyone is just chatting. Zach, are you fucking kidding me?
we're gonna do if the abortion bill doesn't if the abortion amendment doesn't pass in the state of Florida either, then we might as well. More fucking bomb threats. Arizona authorities report 4 non-credible bomb threats. Brother, what is going on? At this point, motherfuckers are like, oh, something I don't like, bomb threat time. It's actually fucking crazy, dude. What the hell? These guys have lost their dang minds, dude. What the fuck is going on? They're just like, yep, calling a bomb threat, I guess. Arizona Secretary of State Adrian Fontes said in a news conference the bomb threats were directed at Navajo County. He said they came from a RU email address, but added that doesn't necessarily mean that they came from Russia. Federal and state authorities have indicated that these are not
What was
credible.
Ohio last
By
year?
the way, people say it's Russia, but what they don't realize is that like you
Howdy,
use RU
Battle
email
Queen.
addresses
How's it going? How's
in
it
this
going?
situation
It's been a
because
minute.
It's like non-traceable. Obviously, if it was a fucking federal crime
What
that
you been
were
up to?
engaging in with an American email address, you can subpoena an American fucking you know, you can
Virginia,
subpoena
what the
Google to
fuck?
track it down, and then the person would go to jail. So it's like they're using it
Illinois.
for
I'm
illegal
still
shit. This doesn't mean
flabbergasted
that
by
it's like fucking
Kansas, but I
KGB
feel
or
like
FSB
Kansas
or whatever
is
the fuck. It just means that
just
like
gonna go back to
whoever's
red.
doing this, all these trolls that are
New
doing this
Hampshire is still close,
are
but it's only at
using an RU
21%.
email address.
Key raise. Key raise.
Not always just simply from Russia. It's usually nerds in a fucking American
101,
nerds
what
or
do they
European
call?
nerds in a goddamn Discord server.
They Oklahoma they called, I think. Florida was already Alabama, Tennessee, Kansas.
So
In what way?
Oklahoma is another state that
Like
passes a
red
citizenship
or
amendment.
blue
Oklahoma
way.
joins several other
Like
conservative states in passing a
I'm nervous
citizenship
too, but
requirement to
it's
vote.
always like the southern votes are like announced first. It all depends because this was like a really, really like sought after like
NBC News exit poll: majority of
still
Texas voters think abortion should be
very,
legal.
very
okay?
nervous.
Legal in most cases.
That's why I keep
38%,
looking
legal
at
in all
this.
cases at 26%. Illegal in most cases at 26%. Illegal in all cases 8%. That's a really fucking damning exit poll for the Republican Party. Not that it fucking matters.
Yeah, that's usually the case because like California hasn't even been announced. It's not announced till 10 o'clock. Oregon, Washington, these are all blue states.
So-
Nevada might be blue, but Ohio is
This
looking.
seems like a very bad sign regarding Latino men. NBC News: Latino men are breaking for Trump by a 10-point margin, 54-44, in a major reversal from 4 years ago, according to the NBC News exit poll. In
But
2020,
like
Latino men backed Biden
14,
over Trump
like
by
15
a
million to 17 million.
23-point margin,
That's
59 to 36. Holy moly! I mean, again, exit
Who'd you
poll,
vote for?
Don't know if that's like correct or not. Don't know how accurate it is, but also it could literally be.
I think they just called another state for her.
I just
Delaware just started reporting, but
I
I
don't
think
wanna
that's
say it.
obviously a blue state.
I don't want to say it.
What don't you want to say?
Across all counties, precincts, and townships counted so far, Trump is running 0.3 points ahead of our expectations, and perhaps that's all Florida.
Why do people keep showing Polymarket? Like, Polymarket is not reputable at all. Breaking news. Oh, Delaware, of course.
Anyway, when my wife and I were voting today, our polling place was not super busy, but we have 5 new voters get cheered while they were there in Michigan, and they were all young women. Do you think Swiftie contingent is going to have a meaningful impact? I don't think it's Swiftie contingency necessarily, but I think it's the abortion. I think it's the abortion situation. That's what I think is going on here.
North Carolina.
So anyway, what I was saying is,
God, if whoever voted for these two
like
fucks,
a lot of people have wondered why Donald
off.
Trump is doing
Like,
so well.
They are not gonna win.
With the
no yellow has ever
went.
What went? They fucking went. Oh, wow.
And I'm also trying to fucking pull it up, and I'm having a hard time pulling it up. God damn it, dude! Where's the fucking song? Oh, here. I found a new version.
Oh my god. The millennial, the Gen X version. Oh my god. This is giving me a good laugh. I'll be honest. Oh, fuck. Anxiety.
I'm just saying that could be the reason. Like, you know, do not discount the power that an absolute banger like Yo Voy a Votar por Donald Trump might have.
Anyway. Oh,
my
200 votes difference.
I've never seen. I see vote at 5, and I'm usually between 40 and 70th for the day. I was voter 6.
Oh my god. They just called one.
What do you mean?
Oh, Delaware. That's 3. Obviously, she's gonna get like all these. It's really Virginia that we gotta look for.
That's irritating. I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't think people actually think that.
But seriously, why after all the shit that we've been through?
So many Latino men at my work in Fort Lauderdale had Trump hats on today, and they were singing that song.
God, my teeth are yellow. My teeth are very yellow. Holy fuck! I need to see a dentist.
Okay. Modeling a split ticket, Locky Jane says, would very much say you'd rather be Trump than Harris in Georgia at the moment. I'm not seeing the margins for Harris that she really needs in Atlanta suburbs to counteract the rural red shift yet. The same goes in North Carolina, though that's looking a bit tighter at the moment. Reminder, we had Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, Arizona all going red in our split ticket forecast, but Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin going blue. We'll get more data in the blue wall soon, but the Sun Belt doesn't look great for her right now and broadly matches pre-election polls and the midterm patterns to some extent.
Oh boy. What gets me the most is that he's a felon and was allowed to vote even though felons are. Exactly. Yes. He's a felon. He should not even be fucking running for office.
Decision Desk headquarters projects Nancy Mace,
no.
our favorite swinger, to win
the
House election in South Carolina's first congressional
Fuck Nancy Mace. Bro, so above law. He is. The rich is always above the law.
Made it through this tumultuous
especially
time.
like Elon Musk, he's able to get away with so much shit.
But
Kansas went red. That was a given.
Is resilient, holding strong.
These two are very tight, but it could always go one way or the other.
Pulling the goon.
Trying to soothe
running away with men sounds
my anxiety.
It is.
My heart is pumping.
Also, Donald Trump. You had a blurb on MSNBC earlier today. Wait, really? Positive?
Pennsylvania's looking pretty. So Pennsylvania, Michigan are kind of like leaning towards blue. Wisconsin is another important one because it's 10 electoral. We are 10 as well. Iowa is just 6. Missouri is just 10.
You'd be surprised at how many Latino men are conservative. I'm not surprised at all. This is the exact same. This is the exact same thing that has been happening for non-college educated men.
Dude, Iowa better show up
white non-college educated.
I think
men
Ann
swung
Seltzer
wildly in favor of Trump, or
predicted like a
have always been in
5%
favor of
boost.
Trump and have only increased their margins.
But at the same time,
Difference is that for
I'm looking at
Latino,
Michigan.
non-college-educated
Michigan is
Latino
looking a
men,
little okay.
they have moved by dramatic numbers.
But
over
I
the
don't like
Republican side.
these numbers.
The
I do not
smallest
like
margins
these
come
numbers.
from the
Even though it's getting
non-college-educated
closer.
black men.
Keep forgetting they always report
And
the
yet
red ones
that has
first.
been a massive point of contention this entire
Texas.
time.
Oh, what did they declare for Harris? They declared something.
Hold
She
on.
she went up some. What did she get?
Here
Oh, New
are
Jersey.
AP's latest
She just got
calls.
New Jersey.
Kamala Harris is winning Illinois. Almost every region of Florida has shifted to the right. In comparison to 2020, nearly all of Florida has moved right during this presidential election cycle. Miami-Dade County saw the greatest increase with an 18 percentage point shift right. It was enough to move the county from the Democrats' column in 2020 to the Republicans this year.
I can't stop refreshing. I cannot stop refreshing, dude. I'm gonna have.
But
Okay, I'm so used to having my camera the other way.
there it is.
Fits that profile we talk about. High concentration of college degrees, higher.
Where is he watching this?
County in Pennsylvania.
Oh, live news.
That has become more democratic to the degree that Chester County has. So as you start to look at the results come in here tonight, it'll be a while. See what Biden got here, 58%. Maybe set a benchmark in your head of 60%. Can Harris break 60% in Chester? Because what's happening in Pennsylvania, and this is going to be a theme in the two other northern tier battleground states, what's happening in Pennsylvania is the Democratic base is geographically contracting. Trump came along in 2016 and he started to run up massive margins in rural areas of the state, rural blue-collar areas of the state. And what's happening,
there we go.
The Democratic base has become more geographically concentrated into cities and metro. But it's what the stats show, high concentrations of college degrees. So what the Democrats increasingly need to do is just focus on running up margins in those places that can offset the Trump gains elsewhere in the state. So that's what these three counties are all about. Bucks is a big one, about 450,000 people here. It's a little bit different. This is a true swing county here. How this one goes tonight could tell us a lot about how the state is going. It's just it's more blue collar than these other collar counties. So
yeah, Pennsylvania is a little bit more blue. And dude, fuck the electoral system. You're right.
Here, Harrisburg, Lancaster,
it's just
York. This is actually an area
doesn't really give a voice to the people.
Here,
like,
but this is an area where Trump has
I vote blue. That's just the way I look. But like, I don't know, for example, I want to vote a different way. I don't really have a voice when I do if I live in a prominent blue or red state. If you're in Michigan or Pennsylvania, you have a better chance of speaking your voice.
These are almost all going to be
with your
red
vote
tonight. And this is when I say Trump has been running up the score. These are the counties where he gets 65, 70, 75% of the vote, all in this part of the state. And I think where the game may be won or lost in Pennsylvania is going to be
200 years ago when there was like barely anyone in our country and no one understood what voting was. Now everyone has an idea of how to vote.
Paying a lot of attention to Lackawanna County, and we've got
God, I just wish more. I don't know.
This is the vote by mail, but here's the story in Lackawanna County.
My brain is just everywhere.
Scranton is. This was pre-Trump.
It's only 7 o'clock. Remember, more votes get counted after 8.
What a shift.
I'm in Minnesota, so it's 7 o'clock for me.
10-point win here in 2020. Was that because Joe Biden and his Scranton ties? Was that because of something else, changing attitudes towards Trump, perhaps? Big question here. And there's a lot of counties like this in Pennsylvania.
I make weird noises when I'm anxious.
Big question here.
So if I go like,
can Trump get this back to 2016
I'm
levels,
just
or
trying to
can he
ease
win
my
this county?
anxiety.
That's what he wants
Like,
to be doing. And there's also a lot of these counties in this sort of this stretch of the state right
like,
here. You've got
everyone was endorsing
Hispanic populations. That's the other thing. That the
Patagonia,
Trump
this
campaign has been
sweatshirt I'm
talking
wearing.
about.
They
Berks is where the city
said they
of
were
Reading
going to
is.
vote
Reading
they want a candidate that's be better for the environment. Just kind of given who that is.
Trump actually, he lost the city of Reading. He made gains there in 2020. He made gains in a lot of these.
Oh no, Alabama. Alabama's going red. Yeah, we got Harrison Ford, Paul Rudd, the fucking Avengers. We got the fucking Avengers, dude. We got J-Lo, we got Beyonce, we got Lady Gaga, we got
so again, Democrats just need to get massive
the guy from
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and
the guy from Mandalorian and Last of Us. Yeah, the whole supernatural cast. We got the boys. We got the fucking boys.
But as this takes shape, that's what we're going to be.
Let's see, 16.3 to 19.
I will tell you this. One thing I've been looking at.
Oh, Illinois was called for. No, that's why.
You're always looking to see when you have and you compare it to the last election.
Pennsylvania's looking promising.
So one of the things, there's like 3 or 4.
Michigan, not so much. These two states could definitely.
Republican rural counties.
Let me see. Go to history.
15, maybe 20 of them that are basically complete right now. Very small.
Where is
but
it?
In just about all of them, Trump is running a point to 3 points better than he did in 2020. And that was one of our questions.
Election map interactive.
A couple of potentially critical points in his core parts of the state. So we are not seeing that there. But there's a lot more, obviously, we're going to be looking for.
So, like,
as Georgia
for example,
to come in.
This goes red, this goes red. This goes. This goes blue, this goes blue. So it all comes down to Wisconsin, if that's the case. That's safe. Iowa does show up. It goes blue. And Nevada goes blue. Well, let's say North Carolina comes in clutch, and Texas, surprisingly, and Arizona, and Georgia, and Florida. I'm coping right now, okay? I am coping hard. Where are you from? She's catching up?
Least bit that is the case. That tracks with the rest of the country.
Well, yeah, the way it works is they capture. It's always the red warning or something.
Is PA locked in for Harris? What are your early predictions? There's no way that I can tell you anything like that.
It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say with how much is in right now.
There's been a ton of demographic shift in rural Georgia. A lot of white flight. Amendment 4 for Florida is currently at 47% yes with 90% reporting. Brother, I am Brian. Kill me if we can't even pass this basic ass shit. Wait. Abortion is at fucking less than it. Abortion is sub 50% in Florida. You mean 57%? That's not looking too good either. Anyway, let's continue. This is, I mean, Ohio is like very strange. Like there's a market shift.
Yeah, Ohio
towards blue in Ohio.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
The places that were red to begin with, have become.
I have a feeling California's gonna come in
There's
clutch.
obviously some population changes happening.
Like Virginia's really close. I don't think Virginia's gonna flip.
The places to look out
But
for
North
here
Carolina,
would be
I
for
feel
North
like it's
Carolina,
already
Georgia. Once
given.
again, remember,
Georgia, on the other hand, it's only halfway at
this kind
counting.
of shift blue in Ohio could mean good things for,
Pennsylvania,
could mean
Michigan,
good
they
things
still need to
for-
report more. New York hasn't even came in yet. Maine, oh my God, Maine is going. I'm joking. It's 340 to
could
160.
mean good things.
Who do you
for the
think's
blue
gonna
ball
win
here,
that?
Okay,
Who do you think?
this is it.
It's-
This is the Kamala Harris pathway to victory.
What?
Okay, this right here is what will take out Donald Trump. That's what they need. It's good that Georgia is competitive. I mean, it'd be nice.
New York and Maine are going to be blue, yeah. It's just the first reporting, so there's still like a lot to come.
I'm an Ohioan. I'm telling you, man, it can't swing. I mean, the JD Vance effect is what they're calling it.
JD Vance? What the fuck?
They're calling it the greatest vice presidential pick of all time.
JD
better
Vance?
Better than Sarah Palin. What Sarah Palin did to the Maverick McCain campaign.
Let me see New York Times.
Specifically to Donald Trump in one key state. VA called for Harris by decision desk. Wee woo, Virginia has been called by decision desk for Kamala Harris. Even though
I think it's just a lot to count. It's a lot of votes to count. So we just need to remain calm because like Kansas is still. What the fuck?
DeSantis is now saying Amendment 3 has failed and Amendment 4 has failed.
What
he said
the
this an
fuck?
hour ago.
Are you seeing
Amendment
this?
3 and 4
Fucking Kansas. I should not be like this. Kansas is a red state. I should not worry about. Okay, it's at 28%. There's still a lot more to report from Kansas.
Oh my god.
But Pennsylvania, I'm. Oh god. Still set to 279 to 259. It's a toss up right now.
Okay. Sorry.
Oi, 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 oi. Why did they make Illinois just blue even though there's still like 12%?
Momentum is around.
10 minutes until majority of them are gonna come out. So like Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska. And when it comes to it, I think it's like one of these counties down here. I think it's Lincoln County. That is typically the blue one because theirs is a little different compared to it.
Next round of polls are closing at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is in 10 minutes.
And that's a majority.
Colorado, which we won't know about for a while. Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New York, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Wyoming, and Wisconsin.
Colorado is totally going to be blue. I mean, do you see a lot of like Trump supporters in Colorado?
Biden. Must be bittersweet for Joe Biden to watch as the vice president carries his home state of Delaware. Okay.
There's been an update.
Voted in Las Vegas. This is really, really devastating.
The one I'm looking. Oh. Nope, that's been there for a while.
This is a sad state of affairs. Florida rejecting the abortion measure is fucking crazy. Oh,
I'm getting mixed signals. Oh, Colorado's. Yeah, I think I remember talking to you now. Been to Glenwood Springs. I've been to Vail and Beavers Creek / Edwards. I've driven through Denver and stuff. What is he saying?
Pre-election forecast was D+5 in New Hampshire. Gotta say, that was one of those things that raised my eyebrows. I thought from my priors we were on track to undershoot her there. Guess not. Yeah. New Hampshire was New Hampshire potentially underperforming for Kamala Harris was a scary sign, and it turns out that the New York Times Needle has Harris projected at a margin of 3.9 in New Hampshire and 5.1 in VA. Very big swing towards Trump predicted by pre-election polls, but not to this extent in light blue states.
Come on, Maine, do the reporting. Report.
Floridians get what they voted for, Law. I know, but you have to remember it's a fucking massive state, and there's plenty of people who don't agree. And also, again, these constitutional measures, these constitutional amendments in the form of ballot measures are still incredibly popular. Once again,
what if she like wins with only the electoral system?
It has to reach 60%. So when something is 57% and it doesn't pass, it's still ridiculous. Okay.
There's still a chance for these states. Virginia is very.
Like both amendments are above 55%.
You were just thinking that? What were you just thinking?
Marijuana legalization and also abortion protections. They were both above.
God, I really gotta stop
55%,
leaning, dude.
abortion at 57%, and yet it still it doesn't pass because it has to be over 60%.
Oh, yeah.
So it is
Like, look at this. Missouri, Kansas.
Population is like, we want this.
I don't think that's going to be true, but on the other hand, who knows?
It is still shocking to me that it couldn't reach 50%, though. That's what I mean.
Imagine if it's like blue in these states.
In Florida is it should pass 60% in Florida. That's what's shocking to me. Like,
if I believed, I would pray.
Are Americans that polarized, especially for a state like Florida? Are they that fucking right wing that they couldn't reach over the 60% margin in a state like Florida? This is unheard of. Like an abortion state constitutional amendment not passing 60% in Florida is unthinkable. Maybe 4
Senate.
Come
on, Senate.
It's unthinkable. Way too many fucking Republicans, I guess, moved to Florida, and like the worst kind of Republicans, not even like normal Republicans.
Kansas is just playing with our hearts right now.
In the polling locations across the state, but said so far there's no credible threat to the public. Shapiro Democrat spoke at a news conference. There's fucking bomb threats everywhere. Holy shit. Free MAGA merge at Trump's watch party.
I refreshed the wrong page. Whoops.
Yeah, Florida is experiencing the biggest migration in a generation. Here are 10 state locals are moving to. Florida has had the most right-wing shift, the most right-wing migration shift.
Yeah,
in the
all the right-wingers know. I really hope.
The migration pattern, politically speaking, in comparison to even Texas, which has also had a 20-plus Republican, 20-point migration shift. So that is pretty consequential for the state. It changes the state makeup dramatically.
We got it. We need to find a new way forward.
New York Times says with more than 95% of results reported in Florida, the state has clearly moved to the right since 2020. That year, Donald Trump won by about 3 percentage points. He seems to be on track to carry it by about 13 percentage points.
Okay, I'm fine now. Breaking news.
Florida was a bloodbath. Trump is slightly favored in GA. Harris will win VA comfortably, though it'll shift right by several points from 2020. Not looking good early for Brown in Ohio in terms of separation with Harris. Blue wall looms large. Outside of the blue wall, North Carolina is looking tight, and polls are still open in Arizona.
Okay, Harris is catching up.
To start the night if you're Harris, but a lot of game left to play. Yeah. If Trump wins, will he actually declassify the JFK files, or is this just hopium? Yes, he's a fucking liar. He said that about 9/11 too. Do you not remember? Donald Trump literally went on Alex Jones's TV show in 2016 and said he was going to declassify 9/11 files, and then he did not. So he just lies all the time to curry favor with like right wing, to curry favor with like right wing weirdos, like the conspiracy people. Isn't it bad overall?
I'm texting my coworker who
states. I mean, that's not.
She like volunteers in polls, not polls, like polling areas, like at her church. And she is very fucking
bad right now. The reason why it looks like she's doing bad, and we'll see.
Yep.
These next couple of hours is the make it or break it. Okay. The next couple of hours is going to be the make it or break it situation. Because if the blue wall, which is the only pathway to victory for Kamala Harris, does not Like it's going to come down to Pennsylvania, as I said.
Yep, Pennsylvania. 14% only.
Down to Pennsylvania, as I said earlier.
14%.
If the blue
it's
wall
only at
is
14%.
strong, then Kamala Harris wins 270 plus electoral college votes. If it doesn't, then it's fucking Jover. I'm calling it in Germantum right now. Blue wall is Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So yeah, I think a majority of it is like from what Hasnabi says. YouTube is not looking pretty good, but I don't know. I want to keep that up. Just who knows? God, this shit is so bright. Then when I go here, go here, go here. Looks fine over here. I guess I'll keep it on this. He just hit 22 million. Ohio, nope. Michigan, These two are throwing me off.
Close race at these rural areas shifting a couple points and maybe having higher turnout can tilt the race towards him. Kamala's hope, and this is what Dr. Bullock at University of Georgia, my old Southern politics professor, he told me when I asked about the state of the race, she will need
Diablo Nova.
She will need election day vote, which doesn't make
Thanks for the follow. I just noticed you followed me. What's up? What's happening? How did it take me a while to notice? Southern women are pissed off about the abortion ban, so hopefully you're right. Because abortion is actually pretty critical. It is really good healthcare. Yo, Diablo, what? Diablo, what is happening? Why was I calling you Diablo? Hope you're doing well today. Hope your anxiety levels are not as high as mine. Because, I'm scared. He's catching up. By how much? And where?
The problem for the vice
Yo.
president is that she is not, in the current totals, is not outrunning in the metro area, Biden's performance in the metro area.
I wish I had a fucking blinker on me, dude. Oh my god.
We will see. There is a possibility that she could increase her margins and do slightly better in the case of a blue shift in the Atlanta metro area. If these final 20%, 30% of votes in these metro area counties are more Democratic than the results we have now, that could counteract these rural shifts. They're not especially huge, but I would say that Trump for this, like, we
oh fuck, I don't have a bottle opener.
Metro area right now. Some counties, as more votes have come in, have shown a blue shift. Some have shown a slight red shift. If she was getting Warnock numbers in the Atlanta metro area, I think that...
Where are my keys? Dude.
The problem is that she's not getting Warnock numbers.
Georgia's not looking great for Kamala Harris. AP's called
Ow.
Donald Trump for South Dakota.
Where did I vote?
And AP is called Donald Trump for Louisiana and Wyoming, and Donald Trump won the statewide vote in Nebraska and the 2 electoral votes. For the 3rd consecutive election, he won the popular vote on Tuesday, receiving 2 electoral college votes. Nebraska is one of the 2 states that divide electoral votes, with 2 votes going to the statewide winner and 1 to the winner of each congressional district. Trump won Nebraska by 25 points in 2016, 19 points 4 years later. I don't know if he's like slated to outperform his
well, I will say, and this is a credit to pollsters, I had an article, and it was an article that did very well. It doubted the new methodologies that pollsters are using. I thought going into 2022 could be artificially deflating the Democratic vote.
Oh, New York just came out.
Showed more Republican-friendly numbers in a lot of states that were just based off of right-wing media narratives, and they ended up being quite off.
These two are like, what?
The methods that they use to capture the right-wing vote, the possible missing Trump voters, his support by using...
Yeah, they added more. Missouri hasn't reported more. I feel like they're going to flip red. I have a feeling.
Polling methods from 2020 might have missed. Yeah, Texas is not surprising here. So the world is over.
279 to 259, 120.99.
That I was very much a Blexus denier back in 2023, and the liberals got very mad at me for that. But
Mm-mm.
Texas, like for all the dreams and all of the
Still a chance for Georgia.
stuff people have talked about with Plexus,
Why are they calling
Texas has a
Virginia?
lot to
Like,
the right in
why?
2016, actually.
Minnesota's
2016,
just closing up, so expecting that soon. Expecting Wisconsin soon.
that has been stacked.
Colorado.
Like
These ones are gonna be later. Right now, it's just these ones on this side.
you are not like seeing. Oh, New York Times says shit from 2020. Like in terms of Texas, you are not seeing like the types of trends that people expected to see. This is a long-term difficulty for Democrats. I think this is a result of racial depolarization, where you have these traditionally Democratic non-white populations.
Any second now, there should be more reporting.
In 2022,
Yeah, it is cool to see. But Georgia, no, these two were blue for a while. Iowa, starting to report now, but that's red. Ohio is a lost cause. Pennsylvania, oh, Pennsylvania's looking pretty good.
And Republican states that are uncompetitive in general, but in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, they managed to hold their ground. Republican rule shifts are not.
I thought it was like a big chance for her, but this is very, very close. 3 million people voted in like differences, but it could all be like majority is Florida, Georgia, Texas, Indiana. Oh my, she got destroyed. Oh, Illinois, that's obvious. Tennessee. 21.1. It's a 3 million difference.
On the Axios thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spencer is here.
I am.
He worked with me on the Chapo project that we've been doing on the religious right. He says that Cruz is likely to win. Again, this is something polling predicted. Yeah, that's Spencer. Say hi to Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, so this is, I mean, the way I looked at the situation, this is not unexpected.
Oh, it's all in one area, that's why.
I never thought that. I mean, like the way I saw it is like Georgia and North Carolina would be close and potentially a nice additional cherry on top. But like what has to stay strong in this situation is of course
That's why she's in the lead. Kansas City and St. Louis area both reported, so those are gonna go red.
Considering like
Pennsylvania, all the blue areas. There's a couple blue in here, but
like if the
yeah.
pollsters were not weighing
Michigan. Oh wait,
in their
Marquette area hasn't been announced.
In the way that they weighed in favor of Donald Trump because of his, because he's a turnout machine.
Yeah.
What does that say for Pennsylvania's chances?
Yeah. Well, Pennsylvania, this is probably going to be tight in these areas. I'm a little worried about. I think Wisconsin is maybe the place to worry about here. Joshua Smithy, who's very good in Pennsylvania, says that he thinks she's hitting her targets. I think she's very much in the race in Pennsylvania. Michigan, I think the news
Colorado's coming in,
slightly favored. That matches with polling.
and it's an obvious one.
So she still has that Midwestern path. She's not losing any of these safe states that could potentially compromise that.
Now Dems are doing the wait in line to vote. Tweets.
Yeah.
It's over. It's Jover.
Oh yeah.
It was early on in the day. It was the Republicans that were pumping out the "if you're in line, stay in line" tweets, and now the Democrats are pumping them.
Maybe not be by enough that she as much as she may need to counteract these. Like I think this case in Georgia is that you have a death by 1,000 cuts of these rural shifts, these rural areas that are all moving to the right by 2, 3, 4 points. If you had a Warnock level performance,
When will the Red Mirage be? I have no idea. I have no idea, but he's definitely going to claim election fraud if something happens. I'm scared, dude. I am scared, because Project 2025? I'm looking at the way the fucking House and Senate is.
Washington Post swing thing here, 73% in. She's outrunning Biden by 2. that's like
Bob Casey is
that's
looking
fine.
at
That's respectable.
looking
You go
good.
by like a
Dan Osborne, I have
sheriff
no clue who
should
that
beat
is.
Georgia by 2 if every county
He's
in the
probably
state
good to
like
clear
top
victory in the
them.
next.
But
Yep.
when you have all these rural counties that are shifting to the right by 2 or 4 points, you're gonna need like
21.7
like shifts
to
the left to be
24.7. Oh my god, it's a
micro
3
area
million
counties compared to
difference.
2020 than you currently have right now.
It's
especially
literally a
Wisconsin,
3
where
million
we're
difference.
basically running even with Biden in 2020. Her hope here,
I think
Nancy
Virginia
Pelosi in his
fully
report
reported. It's just not on AP.
said she needs to rely on election day Hail Mary, where the
Like,
election day votes for her are better
so
than
all these
electoral
states
votes
are
for
still
her. That's
reporting.
possible,
That's why
but
they
the
haven't
votes
been
that are counted
decided
in
yet.
states makes me skeptical
Like,
that it could have that
Texas
much
is
of a shift.
clear. Georgia has a chance. They're still
You're now
tabulizing.
you're still in the tank for Kamala Harris, but you've leaned even further to the center, away from Kamala Harris's slight favor to win.
I would say that at this point, I consider this race to be a toss-up, as the New York Times says. I would
Yeah,
have Trump
it's a
slightly,
toss-up.
Favored to win Georgia.
It's a
I
toss-up.
don't expect in the metro area
It's a
the
tossy
election
toss-up.
turnout.
What
There's
state
maybe
did
some
he just
slight blue
get?
shift there.
Oh,
Illinois, I
Louisiana.
think, is still in play. You had Orange County, which is one of the Research Triangle places that shifted towards her compared to 2020.
Oh, and Arkansas.
You had some counties, Mitchell County, in the Appalachian areas that shifted towards her. There are some rough results for her in the rural areas, but we don't have anything. We don't have much out of Mecklenburg. We don't have anything out of Mecklenburg yet. We don't have anything out of Durham. Wright County is showing a shift towards her.
I can't.
I
Oh
think
my
North Carolina is
god.
possible, and that would be huge for her. That'd be very, very big. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, we just don't have much in yet, and it's hard to make many judgments.
Okay. All right. So it's Jover, is what you're saying. It's Jover.
I don't think it's Jover. I think this is kind of the world that polling predicted, where you have these movement towards Trump in these uncompetitive states. You have slightly reduced margins compared to 2020, but like a narrow but possible path through the Midwest. We don't have anything out of Wisconsin yet. Michigan, Pennsylvania, very early in their vote counts. Both could possibly go towards her.
Oh, it's one fucking county, and that's the most red county in Minnesota.
We don't know how that'll go.
But if Minnesota goes red, I'm gonna fucking cry.
Potentially compete in Texas. She could potentially compete in
Iowa. Well,
Yeah.
I think her being competitive in Texas was always fucking stupid. That was never going to be a thing.
I was always of the belief of that. People gave me shit for that.
I've never been a Bleggs believer. I have routinely shied away from that, and I wasn't even like a firm committed believer in Georgia nor North Carolina. So none of those things are important to me. The way I said, the way I see it is like it's going to come down to Pennsylvania.
No, it's going up.
And Wisconsin. Yes, exactly. And a lot of people yelled at me when I said,
Sorry if I'm overreacting. I'm just crying on the inside. It's all that county. It's all one county that's reporting.
And therefore Wisconsin is going to be a trickier battle. But pollsters, if they're correct on every other aspect of this, have also consistently put Kamala Harris as Kamala Harris's chances above Donald Trump by multiple points in Wisconsin. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
And the same goes for Michigan as well. Like
no,
Michigan have, according to polls, looked a lot better. So is she going to underperform the polls, or is she going to perform as expected?
at least she got Virginia.
It becomes still a toss-up.
It's still reporting. It looks like Michigan, Minnesota. It's all the red. It's all the red counties that are reporting it. Missouri, I don't think so.
This year, Trump is polling 20% of the black vote versus 78% for Harris. 4 years ago, Trump won about 8% of black voters in the Badger State.
Yeah, this is all very much in line with what polling said.
Early vote in Nebraska heavily D. Fisher is only 5 points behind Ricketts, with Ricketts expected to win easily, likely no Osborne upset.
Yeah. The polls kind of broke away from her at the very end there. Yeah, I don't think Democrats, like, with the way that Ohio going to Trump, we'll see what the margin is there. Unless there's some insane upset in Montana, the Senate should probably go Republican.
So let's talk about New Hampshire. New
Yeah.
Hampshire has some, I guess, like New Hampshire. Kamala Harris seemingly is underperforming.
Yeah. Well, she's performing about in line with the polling. Let me check with the New York Times.
22.5 to 25.7.
We're seeing a shift towards Trump.
What the fuck? Wisconsin. Dude.
And the Midwest could be an exception here. We'll see what that ends up looking like.
Maine. Oh,
yeah,
Maine is
her-
barely reporting. That's why. Look at that.
Which is a reduced margin compared to Biden, who won it by
I feel confident in Pennsylvania.
What we are seeing here is that we have Kamala largely running in line with Biden support in urban areas and suburban areas, not really gaining on him like Democrats in 2022 did.
They just called Texas. They just called Texas.
On him in these areas like Biden while facing losses in rural areas that move these states.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
I don't think she's out of the race at all. I think
They were
the Midwest. If this is all very much in line with all the Midwest, very much presented a world where she could win while doing poorly in like these non-competitive states.
Oh my God.
White states, but
Just breathe.
racial depolarization, I would say, is very.
I don't like seeing all this red. I do not like seeing all this red.
Trump, I would say,
This red is no.
See in 2022.
No. No.
It's tough for Democrats. It presents as kind of a strange world where they might actually be in a very good position in lower turnout elections like midterms and special elections. But when the electorate opens up in a presidential race like it has now, they face this larger universe of voters who aren't quite as partisan. I wouldn't say this is the young men thing.
Yeah.
I'd say this is
Yeah.
about
I'm
minority
literally
rural voters
shaking right
where,
now.
This larger electorate is not as favorable to them as the midterm electorate was in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, what's NBC saying? I have to go to the restroom real quickly. If you could take me off for a second.
Okay. Yeah. Just give me a call back when you're ready. All right. Energy momentum, everybody. Let's check in with the news. See what the fuck's going on there.
Let's see if Steve is ready to talk again.
Wake finishes. We want to see Mecklenburg, the triad. You got Greensboro. We don't have a ton here. Greensboro.
Chat, what's happening? What's happening?
This is the
What's on
one
your
that
mind?
swung the most to Democrats in the last election. Again, right outside Charlotte. It's growing. It's diversifying. It's pretty quickly diversifying. So again, you can see Democrats want to make further progress. Trump won this thing by almost 20 in 2016. And again, look at that. It came down to single digits in 2020. This is another test tonight. This is a place where Democrats want to really keep that momentum going early, but that's when we're going to keep an eye on there. But again, you can see those trends. Trump in the big suburban test outside Charlotte, I'd say he probably passes that test in Union County. And the Democrats so far in these rural counties with large black populations not getting what they hope for there. Still to come, though. We want to see how Wake finishes. We want to see Mecklenburg, the triad. You got Greensboro. Again, we don't have a ton here. Greensboro, Forsyth County, where Winston-Salem is. So still a bit more to come there. And then Georgia, look, 70% in now. Trump continuing with an advantage here. It's about 243,000 votes. And we are getting a lot more clarity in the metro Atlanta area. A couple of things. We talked about this. Democrats wanting to improve margins here. That's what they need to do. Cobb County is a place, where this was a Republican stronghold not long ago, where Democrats are running up the score lately. You see what happened in 2020. Biden won here by 14 points. Currently, 78% of the vote is in. Harris, this is the early vote likely. Harris is winning here by 16. The concern for Democrats is the remaining vote, we suspect, is that election day vote, a little bit more Republican friendly. 16 would be a very good margin for Democrats in Cobb, but does that come down? If it falls below that 2020 level at all, that's very alarming for Democrats. Fulton County, again, we've got the early vote in here, and now some of the same day as well. Look at that. It looks exactly like it did in 2020. Wow. Democrats want to grow that a little more. Again, concern for them. It's a big blue county, but if what's still to come in Fulton is a little less blue, and that number slips below 2020, that's a trouble sign for Democrats. We flagged Fayette County early in the night. Would this one flip? If the blob, I call it the blue blob there, was going to expand, this is the place. It's not quite all in, but almost all in right now. You see Trump with a 2.5-point lead. Now, that is progress for Democrats from 2020. This was a 7-point race in 2020, so it's progress for Democrats. Will it be enough progress? Again, those other big, giant suburban counties there are going to tell a lot of that story. We finally have a little bit in Gwinnett County. I just want to linger on this one for a minute because it's enormous. This county has over 1 million people. It has transformed demographically in the last generation. This used to be a staunchly Republican, heavily white county. It's now one of the most diverse in the country. Democrats, you can see Biden won.
Because we only needed one of those two. Fuck, dude. Fuck.
I feel a little nervous.
Same day still to come, so room for Trump growth here. He's already overperforming a point.
I have time and time again repeated
that's an encouraging one for Republicans. You can just kind of complete this loop quickly. I'll just show you some
I don't
of
think
them
this
here.
is 2016.
Again,
the reason why I don't think it's 2016 is because it's not like everyone was super hopeful.
In 2020, you see he's improved by about 1.5 points.
No one's hopeful. No one's hopeful.
That was decided by a
we are scared. We know what's going to happen, and that 20 million
was like looking like a banger for Hillary Clinton.
In 2020, a little bit more slippage here tonight for Trump. You can see Harris running 1.5 points better than Biden did. Trump basically level with 2020. And you can take a look down here at Walton County again.
How do we read these results? Is it even worth watching? Yes.
Trump had slippage here in
2020. It is, especially at this time, 8 o'clock, when it's getting closer. 9 or 10 is going to be.
Tonight, 46. This is the early vote. Again, same day. Does it get back to 49? Does it get back to 50? That's what Trump wants with the remaining vote there.
Minnesota better clutch up.
All of Douglas County in right now. And again, Douglas County, it's one of these demographically.
Why they call Virginia, even though Virginia is still red?
It's diversifying.
SNL ICANN celebrity endorsement Twitch shows.
Douglas have achieved what they want to do here. Biden won this thing by 25 points in 2020, just about all in. Now Harris has it north of 30 points. That is something Democrats want to see there.
Yep.
So again, we zoom out statewide. It's a 6-point lead right now. We could also check in if you want. We could just take a look. We've got them marked off on here. I'll show you. This is. We were talking about this in North Carolina, same in Georgia. There's a lot of rural counties with large African-American populations, and the question for Democrats is, can they improve? They'd like to improve turnout-wise, vote performance-wise, obviously, relative to last time. So again, I think we showed you earlier, Baldwin's just about all in. This is a change. This was a blue county in 2020. It's flipped over to Trump. All the vote is in right now. Look, you can see here, Wilkes County. Just about
How soon is it polite to start blaming leftists?
Trump won this thing, by about 13 points and change.
I'm sure the Democrats have already decided exactly what flavor of leftist they're going to shit on.
Well, yeah, obviously they keep shitting on us. New Mexico's looking good.
It's coming though.
Imagine if it's just like a blue.
They will always tack right. Which is ironically the reason why they're, I think, losing motion and momentum in a lot of these states.
Similar, I think, to what we're looking at to what we're seeing so far in North Carolina. Here's another one, very small, but again, this is a large black population, 19 points.
It just went down 1 point for him.
Tonight it's sitting at about 16.5, with just about all the votes. And again, these slight differences in a state like Georgia can make all the difference. Where of all these millions of votes, we expect about 5 million votes. And in 2020, it was separated by 12,000 of them. So again, if there's any slippage for Democrats here,
Minnesota
2020 number in full. That's
okay, it's just those two counties. That's why.
Are at right now. Harris is at 72.6. This is
okay. So
single county in Georgia.
This area hasn't reported.
This number starts dropping.
This area hasn't reported. Looking in Georgia, it's like this area.
And by numbers, it may not be enormous enough. The Democrats don't want any slippage.
It looks like that little
Roanoke too, Rachel, as we get more from Georgia.
I don't like seeing red. It's too red, but I do like this blue. It's not a big deal for New Mexico because that's like 5 points.
I was joking earlier, but now I think Brother Banks was really the canary in the coal mines. No, Brother Banks is in Florida. I mean, not in Florida. Sorry, in fucking California. but it does mean something when people are not worried about Donald Trump to a degree where, like, even someone who wants to be brand friendly to a certain degree or doesn't want to come across like someone who's hateful is confident enough to be able to outwardly show support to Donald Trump. This means that a lot of people don't view Donald Trump as a danger to America, especially in our demographic, in our age group. That in and of itself,
I'm trying to find like a moderator.
That in and of itself is terrifying. It's also kind of funny because Brother Banks's assessment on the situation was damn near identical to all the fucking criticisms that I had of the Democratic Party in terms of like being hypocritical on the issue of immigration.
Pennsylvania's
like
still
not
looking good.
outwardly communicating that they're anti-war and that like this type of shit.
Minnesota's catching up. So Minneapolis is finally starting to
this type
report.
of
Okay, that's good.
Lack of communication on that agenda.
Fayetteville
front
still has time to
Donald Trump
report.
the opportunity to say he's the fucking peaceful dove.
And as you can see, called it
A
Charlottesvon.
lot of these were issues that I routinely talked about. That I said Kamala Harris
But
was
it
running
was
a bad
obviously going
campaign.
to go to Trump.
And for some weird
just-
reason, everyone was like,
I
"No,
just
Hassan,
want to
you're
live
wrong.
peacefully.
Kamala Harris is running a
just
good
want to live
campaign."
peacefully.
I still
I just want to
believe, in spite of
go
all
to
of that, that there are a lot of people who are like, "I don't want to fuck with this Trump shit at all." But it was way too tricky. It was a massive gamble. Something that I reiterated over and over again for the past couple of months, non-fucking stop. And people said that I was completely wrong. And that, no, it's actually good to tack to the center.
Wait,
It's actually
did
good.
we have a first
Why would
chance
anybody vote
for
for you
House?
as the anti-migrant party if the other side is constantly increasing the pressure on migrants?
Oh, Sarah McBride.
So
Oh,
all of that are massive flaws in
list of
the way
transgender political office.
that
The United States.
all of those are massive flaws in the way that Kamala Harris has campaigned thus far. Decision Desk is calling North Carolina for Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump is projected to win North Carolina. Once again, North Carolina and Georgia, competitive states, but overall, they were a part of the 7 swing states that we were talking about. But the ones that are important in Pennsylvania, I have said this for months. And if Pennsylvania falls, it's Jover. That's when you know
Oh,
it's
yeah, SJ.
100% Jover. Okay?
We gonna keep Iowa?
Speaking of Pennsylvania. Oh my God, Kaya,
Iowa.
chill.
Iowa's coming in clutch. Iowa's coming in clutch. Wait,
Speaking of Pennsylvania,
there's a chance. Because only
Michael from Pennsylvania.
it's
I'm
Des
calling
Moines,
him
but there's
out.
also Cedar
He
and
is
Sioux
going to be the
City.
naysayer tonight.
The big
I'm just letting you
prominent
know.
cities
Okay?
we want to look for.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
But his attitude and mine are pretty close. Our analysis is almost identical, but he has on the Trump is going to win side of this argument, and I'm on the Kamala Harris is slated to win side of this argument. But
Mhm.
like I said, this is all coming down.
It's going down to
Pennsylvania.
65%
So
leading
let's hear
Trump.
His analysis
It's
on the matter.
these key walls. Remember, Madison and this part,
don't know
which
why
I
he's not picking up after
believe,
saying, when am I going to come on?
not Eau Claire.
This motherfucker's in the chat being like, yo, pull me in. And then I
forgot
call
what's
him,
down there.
and he doesn't pick up. Where? Literally in the chat going, hey, pull me in, pull me in, pull me in.
North Carolina went to Trump, by the way. Pennsylvania's
And then
looking
when I'm like, all right,
good.
let's have you
Michigan
on,
still
he's like,
reporting.
never mind.
Reporting. 1% reporting.
That's crazy.
All of these small counties. It's very
How
small.
are you going to be in the chat being like, yo, can I come on? When can I come on? And then when I pull you in, you're not even there.
Okay, first of all, could I just say
Literally all of
that I was,
these. Okay.
you know, listen, I was malding a little bit, so I left the room for a minute, and then I called Caroline.
All right, let's
and
hear
then
it.
Now you're ready.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to be overly dramatic. Hi, everybody. Mike from PA Central _ Committee on Twitch. I'm not trying to I don't feel good. I feel terrible.
All right. I think it's still too early to pull "I told you so's" in terms
I'm
of.
not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
I told you so.
You and I, like I've repeated over and over again, are in agreement in terms of Kamala Harris's outreach strategy being absolutely dog shit, and the dangers presented by Donald Trump. But you were always on the Donald Trump is slightly favored to win train, where I was always on the Kamala Harris is still slightly favored to win train, even though her chances of her slight favor shifted in Trump's direction, especially in the last month. Having said that, however, all of this is going to still come down to the state of Pennsylvania. This is your forte as someone, for those of you who don't know, Michael from Pennsylvania, Central_Committee, has worked in Pennsylvania politics for many years. So he understands the situation on the ground pretty well. And he has been warning about Kamala Harris's chances in Pennsylvania for quite some time. So with all that said, let's hear what your assessment is on Pennsylvania. Or actually, you know what? What is your I told you so moment, if you want to talk about that too?
Well, okay, so I think there was I got a lot of shit for basically bucking a lot of the trend and being like, actually, I think the evidence is that the polls are accurate or underestimating Trump.
Fair.
And a lot of people were like, no. Like there was the Seltzer, whatever her name is, Momentum, that one poll from Iowa. There was but mostly like I looked into it pretty extensively, and I've bought polls myself and run them. So it's not just like, me as like an amateur looking at it. It's somebody who's like ordered them and designed them and run them. And I think her polling method is archaic. It's I agree with part of what she does, but basically she does this thing called random digit dialing, which is something that we did like 20 years ago. And it doesn't have like the internet component, and it's not very good.
That area, Milwaukee, hasn't been reported. It's barely any reporting yet. Colorado, Denver hasn't even been reported yet.
And 2016,
no, it has a little bit.
By realizing that there was a pool of
Fort Collins hasn't even been reported yet.
Trump was tapping into that were not being contacted. And there was absolutely no evidence to believe that those people were being successfully
that area, that's obviously red. I knew that was going to be Trump country.
And they weren't doing anything like
Trump County.
Blanket weight on the polls. Like the polls were not in any way like manipulated. They were just trying to figure out how to be accurate. And I think a lot of the pollsters have been vindicated. If anything, they still might have an underestimation of Trump.
You think the polls are still underestimating Trump?
Well, I mean, okay, so basically the world that we're in is like, this morning Nate Silver said that he ran 80,000 simulations and 40,000 of them showed Kamala Harris winning, right? Well, we're now in the world where about 20,000 of those simulations where she won are completely off the table.
Yeah.
So
if you're talking about like Georgia and North Carolina, like I have
East
never
Coast strategy is gone.
Yeah,
and that was actually a major source of like optimism for her. Like the idea that Georgia and North Carolina might be available for her.
I never cared about that. For the record, I always saw that as like bonus points if it happens, but it's not all that significant.
Colorado gonna be blue. Colorado's definitely gonna be blue.
The overall strategy here has always been the blue wall, and to see if it holds or not. And looking at the performance of Kamala Harris in the other swing states that she did pump a shitload of ads into, with bad communication overall, with bad messaging overall, doesn't matter if you're pumping $30 million of television ads into a area into a competitive race, if the message that you're pumping is not one that people are responding to, right?
Yeah.
And I think
they weren't.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There was no evidence that she spent $1 billion. There was no evidence that any of her ad money moved the numbers at all.
No, there was evidence that it didn't move. No, there was actually evidence to the contrary, that all of the ads that she pumped into even Pennsylvania didn't actually shift the polls in her direction. As a matter of fact, it shifted the polls in Trump's direction in many instances, not because of those ads in particular, but that means that obviously the message wasn't resonating with the voters.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if she pulls it out, like, you know, my preference is that she pulls it out over Donald Trump. I don't want Donald Trump to be president, but I have to say that I didn't vote for her because of the genocide, and I know that I'm not alone. There's a lot of people that didn't vote for her because she refused to stand up for humanity,
No.
International law, the United Nations, and I'm proud to have voted for, you know, PSL. I didn't vote for
There's
Jill
300,000
Stein.
people in here that are going to try to figure out where you live to kill you. I'm just letting you know.
I just want people to know that, like,
He's a swing state voter, chat.
No, you know, and I've said
Get
this
him.
for months, and
He's
said
a
this for
Pennsylvania
months,
voter.
and I said this for months, and that was like, if, you know, they don't break from Biden on here, I will not support them because it's just unconscionable and it's unsupportable. And I think, and I wasn't doing it because of me
What do you
or
think
privilege or
Trump's
any of those
gonna
other
do?
things, but because if there is you know, Arab and Muslim voters that are out there in Dearborn who are losing family members, I'm going to act in solidarity with them.
Okay.
I'm not going to act and stand aside. And
Okay.
and I'm sorry for getting off on that soapbox.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to
analysis,
the analysis in Pennsylvania
I'm
right
looking
now.
at it right now. Yeah,
So
I'm trying to, like, right now we're still have very few in the way of like firm returns, and 75% of election day returns are 75% of the votes come on election day in Pennsylvania. So I'm looking at stuff right now.
yeah.
And yeah, wow.
There have been very little shocking results so far, as Associated Press has also said, and that AP race is calling Donald Trump winning the 3rd congressional district in Nebraska and the 1 electoral vote as well. AP race call. Donald Trump wins the 3rd congressional district in Nebraska and 1
the third. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
the 3rd.
Omaha.
Yeah, he won the other votes as well. Rural 3rd congressional district on Tuesday, the former president easily defeated the Democratic candidate and Vice President Kamala Harris in the state's most conservative of his 3 districts, covering 80 counties and 2 time zones. The district is also one of the most conservative in the country and supported Trump by 3-1 in both 2016 and 2020. The last time the district voted for a Democrat that represented was in 1958. A decision desk says Harris is leading with about 1/5 of the estimated votes counted.
Kansas says Iowa being blue is still sick.
Mailed ballots, which have historically favored Democratic candidates, but the gap is narrowing as expected. With
It's
election
narrowing,
votes from
but
across the state being added.
oh, Missouri is still up there, but I feel like it'll be a
Lehigh
huge.
County, or Northampton County, rather. Excuse me.
Kansas,
results coming, which is
no.
one of the key swing
Minnesota
counties
is
in
also.
Pennsylvania. There's something called the Lehigh
Oh,
Valley,
shit.
which includes
Wisconsin.
Northampton and Lehigh
Wisconsin's
County, and
coming
a
in.
little bit of
All right, I'm gonna pee because I gotta fucking pee like a racehorse.
Harbin County and maybe a little bit of Montgomery County, that kind of region. It's, you know, you have like Philadelphia on the east side, that's southeast. Then you have the collar counties, and then you have like the Lehigh Valley is like central eastern, and that is like one of the key swing areas. And I'm looking at some of Northampton County results so far, and Donald Trump is leading in election day votes in so far that's been reported by. Let me see here. Let me do the math because I don't have.
Can I just? I want to pause briefly while you're looking for that.
That's what I'm.
I want to pause briefly, or you keep looking for that, and I want to address something in the chat. I see a lot of people saying like, "Congratulations, Michael from Pennsylvania, when Gaza is leveled by Donald Trump. I'm sure you'll have your moral victory." So the thing I want to explain to every single person here is, regardless of what your perspective is, okay, there is a fundamental mismatch in what I believe and what you believe if you don't think that Kamala Harris's job in this circumstance is to actively communicate to people exactly like Mike and many others that she is going to be different than Joe Biden. This was one of the major messaging flaws that I kept reiterating over and over and over again. There were no votes lost if she separated from Biden on Gaza policy, and only votes to gain. So you can get mad at him all day, every day. And that's understandable. Like, it's an emotional moment right now. And it's beyond emotional because Donald Trump is going to be incredibly damaging. And he's still, I'm not talking like he's winning. I'm not saying that he's going to win. But having said that, you have to recognize that this is a flaw of the campaign. If there's one thing that you remember from today, if there's one thing that you carry with you into the next election cycle and the election cycle after that, it is that this is, if there is a failure here from the Kamala Harris campaign, it is entirely in her hands. Okay, I say this as someone who still is slightly favoring Kamala Harris's chances to win, with the hopes that they pull through.
I'm back,
the wall,
refreshed.
But having said that, once again, harm reduction voting on certain aspects.
Minnesota still hasn't reported at all.
That issue is not a resounding message that is going to drive turnout. That's it.
Yeah. I don't mind if people are mad at me. Obviously, like the thing that I would say is, first of all, it doesn't appear that the green votes are enough to make up the difference.
It's not.
And the second thing is, like, I'm looking at the numbers here in Northampton, and basically she's winning 44% of the day of vote in Northampton County, which is 75% of the expected. So that's like, 75% of the vote will be that day of vote. And so I would say she's behind where she needs to be in Northampton.
Where's Northampton?
Right now, I'm going to go take a look at 2020, pull that up as well. And like at the end of the day, when we look back at this election, we're going to see, like, when Kamala Harris first jumped in, she was very popular because people thought of her as like a fresh face who was going to break from Biden and possibly represent, she picked Tim
almost
Walz.
$1 billion in funds raised. All of that stuff was fantastic.
Yeah.
Most
and
importantly,
I would never vote for Jill Stein.
Wait, what?
By the way, Jill Stein is a grifter.
We're in agreement on that as well. So
no,
anyway,
fucking Ted.
Pennsylvania. Let's look at the Pennsylvania stuff, because like right now, having an argument over Gaza policy is
it's worthless. It's worthless. You're right. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's hear it.
Given the two candidates, there's no right or wrong way for
so
Gaza.
Right now, we have approximately like 25%. I'm sorry, 31% of the votes are in, and
this man needs to move to Cancun. He does. He definitely does.
I had it pulled up.
Like
67%. It's going back down.
Another thing that you have to remember, once again, is that
Kansas just flipped again.
One, those votes are not for granted. Like third-party votes are not for granted. Those are not like automatic locks for the Democratic Party. Clearly, as these people did go out and vote for a third-party candidate.
No. It adds more.
Campaign to win those voters back. And not by just being like, oh, these guys are bad. And I don't like Jill Stein either. I've very openly communicated that time and time again. The point I'm trying to make is that this is an active messaging issue. If they do not take these voters seriously and they lose these voters, this is exactly
still
what
this
happened in 2016
area
as well. Be mad at the Democratic Party, because no matter how hard people try outside of the Democratic Party's campaign strategies, you will never be able to outflank the Democrats on top line messaging.
It's still the same. She didn't do so well in this area.
I'm looking at results from 2020 and comparing them in Allegheny County. And it looks like that Donald Trump right now, he is like pretty tight on, he's only 15,000 votes behind. 22,000 votes behind Harris on election day votes.
So
in Allegheny
it's not even a
County,
matchup. It's not even a matchup.
Hey Wolfie,
versus,
you've been
Trump,
pretty well.
like,
Pretty well. How's your day been doing?
When you look at past performance of Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania in these districts that you're looking at, do you see any movement or any momentum that favors her? Or when you
I'll be honest, I'm a little anxious right now.
A shift, because I think
but then again, they haven't counted early counting, like early votes, and a lot of people did early voting.
Dangerous predicament to be in for Kamala Harris's campaign, which is that if Trump picks up more from the rural areas,
Oh yeah.
Kamala Harris's base of support does not hold in the cities, and her strategy of trying to detangle
Yep, that area.
white
That area's always
suburban
been
women
red.
from the Republican Party is not successful enough, or she can't make up for that. She can't make up for the loss
Honestly,
in the urban areas.
it's still like a
by
toss-up.
picking up those voters.
It can go
in the
either way.
suburbs,
We don't
then
know
she's
who's gonna
fucking
win.
cooked. So what I'm looking
Right
at here
now,
is
there's still
Donald
2
Trump's
hours.
turnout strategy. Is Donald Trump's turnout
Because like
better than
in about
2020?
20 minutes,
Is Kamala
Montana,
Harris's turnout better than Joe Biden's performance
Utah,
in 2020?
Arizona,
So, like,
Nevada
looking
will
at,
start
like, I'm
reporting,
looking at
and then
Allegheny County,
in another hour, these states will
and
start
I think
reporting. All these
basically we're
states
gonna see
are
a slight
still
drop-off in
reporting.
turnout
Texas still has
overall.
34%, but given the margin,
I don't think
it's
gonna
obviously went to
end
Trump.
up being
And
what it
then
was
with
in
Georgia,
2020.
there's still
But Donald Trump's numbers aren't actually
23%.
that far. He's probably only going to drop maybe like 10 or 20,000 votes out of like 700,000.
That one's
in Allegheny
very,
County,
very
whereas
close.
Harris is at.
Hasn't Maine reported
Let me just do one more
anything?
piece of math here. I'm doing this. live,
Nar,
everybody,
Kansas,
so
nar.
This is how it works.
You're right, nar.
What's going on? We got- Yeah,
I just want this one to be
is looking
blue.
Like she will be down around 30,000 from 2020.
No, his chances keep going.
So I would say that that number right there, so net, that's around like 10,000 out of Pittsburgh. She'll probably be below where Biden was. So I would say that we're definitely on track for a very tight one. Very, very tight. I think.
Okay, but but what I'm asking for specifically
sorry.
is measuring 2020 performance in Pennsylvania in key districts.
Tammy Baldwin.
that
That's
could,
looking pretty good.
in key districts that Kamala Harris has to perform in comparison to her 2024 performance. Do you have this information? If you don't, it's fine.
It's it's not all available yet because only 33% of the like votes are in. So I'm like trying to make reasonable projections. We do have more from Pittsburgh, which is why I was trying to use that as a kind of indicator. Basically,
What's
I would say
everyone's
that
thoughts? What's gonna happen?
There's been a uniform
Who's gonna
swing
win?
toward Trump, probably.
What do you think?
Okay,
What
so
are you
you're-
guys thinking?
You're saying that off of because look, you had a method for Kamala Harris losing. Like you were projecting Donald Trump winning the state of Pennsylvania. Like that was what your slight favor was, right? And my slight favoring for Kamala Harris winning was that even with like same day turnout in places even before we looked at the election day turnout in a lot of these places, college campuses and whatnot, my assessment of the situation was that like she will be able to perform decently well in the suburbs better than Joe Biden did even. And if that's not showing, then she's cooked.
It's not showing. It's not showing that. That's not showing. Like basically what I said, like just to reiterate it for the chat that wasn't here when I was on last, but basically my thought was that the turnout for like cities and for young people was
Wait,
going to be slightly
Miami?
down, but the rural areas is going to be higher
shit.
and juiced because
Miami's
the
down there.
Republicans have spent so much time trying to turn out votes early. And one of the main issues that we're seeing is that the suburban performance is in line with 2020 or like less than 2020. And, Joe Biden only won Pennsylvania by approximately 80,000 votes. So if you see a further boost in the rural areas, you see a slight decline in turnout in the cities. And then you see like suburbans not really.
That's odd. That
outperforming what
one
they did
little-
prior, not seeing the big swing. That's kind of what we saw in Georgia. That's kind of what we're seeing in Pennsylvania. Like the theory of the case that I had seems to be the one that's bearing out, which it sucks because I don't want it to happen, but.
Okay. All right. Well, at least fine. As more votes come in, I'll be able to analyze it better because
Okay.
it's
only 33% right now.
All right, I'm gonna give you a call
if you wanna-
back when there are.
if you want to give me a call back,
I'll
when
give
I
you a
have
call
more
back when
data
there's
for you.
more when there's more vote dumps coming out. of
Yeah, when we have more vote dumps, I'll let you know.
of
And I
Yeah, there's
I
still 13
appreciate
minutes
that
till
people-
like
I
the next
appreciate people are
round.
frustrated with this
Because the
election.
polls
I
just
get it.
closed like 47
Alright.
minutes ago.
Thank you,
I'll
Michael
see
from
you soon.
Pennsylvania
Yep,
Central
I'll see you
_
soon.
Committee.
Yep,
Peace.
see you soon.
Okay. Okay. Is Kamala losing? Is it too early to say? For Pennsylvania, we do not know, but Pennsylvania is the tipping point state. Okay, if Pennsylvania falls, it's Jover. That's it. If Pennsylvania falls, it's Jover. That's it. That is the race in front of us right now. Okay.
Missouri just flipped again. I think that's the last time it'll tease us. That's getting close. Not so close. Not so close.
On the flip side, if Penn stands, she wins. Well, no. On the flip side, if Pennsylvania stands, it's still not entirely done. So New York Times predicts a Penn/Michigan win for Trump. That would be, I mean, there is a slight Republican leaning for Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Why is
and
it?
Wisconsin
Why?
as it stands. But we'll
I'm losing my cool.
we'll see what happens.
Oh, New Mexico's very. It's only at 19, 44% for that. That's obviously going blue. Kansas lost cost. Missouri lost cost. Iowa, it's got Des Moines, but it hasn't gotten all the other stuff too. So we're still seeing.
It's look ideologically. So having all of these battleground states be this close was always going to be an issue.
Out front several weeks ago, but the polls really narrowed, and here we
Tammy
are.
Baldwin
this race
in
too close to call.
Wisconsin.
She's running against Eric Hovde, who is a real estate executive and bank CEO. Let's go to Pennsylvania now. The Pennsylvania Senate race, incredibly competitive. Senator Bob Casey looking for a fourth term.
Nothing has been
Trump
called in a
backed
while.
businessman Dave McCormick. Again, this race still too close to call with 34% of the vote in. Let's head to Texas now. Colin Allred, former NFL star, making this a more competitive race than anticipated in red Texas. Senator Ted Cruz looking for re-election there. We'll continue to watch that. And the Senate race in Ohio.
If Pennsylvania is no longer close, we will know if someone is the president tonight.
Fourth term against Bernie Moreno. Let's take a look.
It just won't be the person that you would want to be president.
One seat with Governor Jim Justice winning that Senate seat there after Senator Joe.
Yeah, because its majority got. Oh, Erie.
The Ohio Senate race really significant, guys, and one to watch.
All right, we've got a call in the Kansas presidential race.
Missouri and
Trump
Kansas.
in Kansas now. NBC News can project. Let's see where that brings us. Here's the breakdown right now. 31,000 vote difference, but again.
Can you explain why the Pennsylvania is the tipping point? Because out of all of the states, given the electoral college, the electoral college, the way it works, there's a proportional number of electors that you get from each individual state. It's winner take all, and the way that the states work.
I'm scared, Chad. I'm scared.
That if a state is close enough. If a state is like a deep red state, it doesn't matter. That's going to be Trump. That's going to be Trump victory no matter what. If a state is a deep blue state, then it doesn't matter. Like California, nobody gives a shit. Democrats are going to win California. There's like 6 million fucking additional Democratic voters in the state of California in comparison to the, I guess like 4 or 5 million Republican voters in the state of California. So like it's like 11 million to 6 million. So that's a given. That's like what, 53, I believe, electors that you're getting, like, no matter what. You need a total of 270 plus out of the 538. And because that is how it looks like, out of all of the states that Kamala Harris seemingly was competitive out of all the states that Kamala Harris was seemingly competitive in,
Hey, let's see if I can go.
Michigan and Wisconsin are the three most important. This is known as the blue wall. Okay, these states usually are dictated by if the Democrats win Pennsylvania, that usually, given the demographic makeup of these other states that are quite similar to one another, the rural-urban divide that is quite similar to one another, these other states are slated to go in the same direction. Now, that's basically what people are waiting for right now. If she did enough turnout in Pennsylvania, if she had a successful turnout in Pennsylvania, and she wins Pennsylvania, then that performance is enough to extrapolate that she most likely will win Michigan and most likely will win Wisconsin as well. Seltzer Iowa poll was a fraud. Well, the Seltzer poll looks like it might have been among the worst of the cycle. Harris is likely to lose Iowa by 8 to 10 at this point. Very different from the D+3 results she had. I give her credit for posing a non-herd poll. To be honest, it will give legitimate insight into polling at large. Yeah, I mean, no, that's copium. It was bunk. It was a disastrous failure in terms of polling.
He won the state of Pennsylvania. In 2020, Democrats with Joe Biden came in and won this by more than 8 points.
This is what I was waiting for.
Biden won the state. So we were saying at the start of the night, Trump wants this number, Democrats want that number. Right now, it's sitting right in between them. It's sitting at 5. So there's still some same day to come in. Let's see this remaining 10%, what that does to this margin. Again, the same day seems to be favoring Trump. How much is it going to favor Trump? Is it going to bring it down back to this level completely? Is it going to stabilize? But that's the most complete county we have in Pennsylvania right now. And I think we said at the start of the night,
90% in, Kamala Harris is underperforming in comparison to past performance, in comparison to performance from Joe Biden. That is a really bad sign. Sorry, I have to be fucking honest. That is a really, really bad sign. I mean,
Hazleton is a majority Hispanic city. Donald Trump actually won Hazleton in 2020. Again, Trump campaign thinks it can make more gains with Hispanic voters. If they do, you'll see it here. About half the vote is in Luzerne County. And again, the same day is what's still to come here. So
I'm going to throw up too.
Now. He won this county by more than 14 in 2020. Question for the Trump campaign wants to get over that number. They want to improve on that number here. If the Democrats can stop them from doing that, that's a big development for Democrats. We want to go back and look at Georgia because, again, and Joy was just talking about this, the suburban support for Democrats in this Atlanta metro area. Something interesting is happening. There are some suburban counties here. You call them kind of the emerging suburbs of the Atlanta metro area. Where the growth is the fastest and the diversification is the most dramatic. And that is definitely where Harris is posting improvements tonight. I think we showed you Douglas County a few minutes ago. Again,
don't you dare turn red.
Growth here. It's about half black. And you can see in 2020, 25 points. Tonight, Harris is winning this by 32 points. You see it in Rockdale County. Just about all of the vote is in here. Biden got 70%. Harris has pushed that up to 73. This is a majority black county. You can go to Newton County here. You know, this was the tightest margin of all these Atlanta metro counties. This was the tightest margin for a county that Democrats won almost all in 2020.
Hogs are going to clip and goon to this moment.
Harris has improved on it.
What do you mean?
You could take a look at Henry County. Almost 80% of the vote is in. Again, Biden won it by 20. Look at that. That's up to 30 or so for Kamala Harris. So the thing is, though, the counties I just showed you within this Atlanta metro region, relatively speaking, these are the lesser populated counties. The ones with the huge, excuse me, the huge population.
I'm scared.
You start with Fulton County, and we've been monitoring this. This is
scared.
the biggest. Atlanta's here, but there's also a lot of suburbs within Fulton
How many
County.
votes did you get in
This
for
is key
Jill?
for Democrats
What?
because of the sheer size of Fulton County.
Dude,
a drop.
there's nothing funnier than blaming me for this when I have like openly been anti-Jill from the jump. Like you're now hallucinating officially. Like, shut the fuck up. I like that people immediately started assuming that Kamala Harris is going to lose, and they're now officially looking to blame someone immediately, and it's never the fucking campaign. Never. Like, immediately.
Fell below that Biden number. There's room for her to drop further here. And again, you know, just 1-2 points in Fulton County offsets a lot of the good Democrats might have done themselves in those other counties I just showed you. So
I don't.
there. We also have. Look at this.
Oh my
excuse me.
God,
Cobb
Chad.
County. We also have. Look at this.
Oh no! Currently watching Alan Lakeman, who has been live streaming on YouTube with his son for about 3 hours. The vibes here are not good. No mention of the keys or turning them in quite some time. I'm worried about everything, Lichtman says.
I am too. I am too. People don't realize what's at stake.
I don't get it. The keys have nothing to do with like the fucking electoral college. Why is he worried? If he trusts the keys, then he shouldn't be worried at all. I don't understand. Why is he all of a sudden looking at the polls? Why is he all of a sudden looking at electoral college performance? I thought the keys were, that's it. I thought the keys were the keys, you know? The worst people gathered at Mar-a-Lago. Oh my God. At Mar-a-Lago tonight, Elon Musk, Robert F. Kennedy, Caitlyn Jenner, Eduardo Bolsonaro, Nigel Farage, Dana White, Byron Donalds, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, my heart can't handle it. Oh my God. We're about to have the worst motherfuckers. Oh my God. Nightmare blunt rotation. Oh my God, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. It is so bad. It's so fucking bad.
It's
dude.
so bad. It's
Oh
so
no,
bad.
I
It's so
do not
bad.
want 4 years of that shit. Holy fuck. Oh, this is another damning thing that I wanted to explain. CBS News exit poll in Michigan, our polling team, younger voters aged 18 to 29 are narrowly going for Trump right now. This deficit for Harris is in large part to younger men in Michigan who are more for Trump. Before people start talking about how this is the Arab vote, okay, if you say this is the Arab vote, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. I just want to let you know, wait till the fucking exit polls come out. You'll probably see a bunch of people that did swing for third-party votes in Michigan. But once again, they were all there for the picking for Kamala Harris. But it's not going to be them. It's going to be young white men and young Latino men that are going without a college degree, going heavily for Donald Trump, as is what the pollsters have shown time and time again. There is a massive gender crisis in this country. I've been ringing the alarm bells about that, alongside the massive misinformation crisis that we're experiencing. And, you know, you just gotta remember that.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
There's not that many Latinos in Michigan. Yeah, it's just white men in general, young white men in general. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fuck, man, we should have known sexism would kill the campaign. No. Sexism plays a role in this, but we all knew that already. Hassan mauled, yes. Hassan mauled, little boy mauled. Brother, I need you to understand something, okay? And I'm going to be very clear with you. Donald Trump potentially winning this election is not going to change the reality that your family is embarrassed to be around you and have told the rest of the family in Thanksgiving dinner that you moved away for the duration while they keep you locked in the fucking basement because your vibes are so pathetic.
There's Pennsylvania.
Okay? Donald Trump winning the presidency is not going to change that reality. If anything, it's probably going to make
There's
your situation worse. I just need you to understand that real quick. You need to fix your own damn life. Okay? That's it. Like, you need to fix it. You're not. Hit the fucking gym, little man. Okay? Fix your fucking life. Donald Trump winning or losing is not going to make it better. All right? PA showing lots of counties with 80+% vote counts moving further red. Haha, already coping, talking about some other's family. Once again, we lived under the Trump administration for 4 years. None of your lives got better when that happened. You owned the libs, and you thought owning the libs would potentially make your life better.
Yep.
The only thing that happened was Donald Trump gave massive tax cuts to the omega wealthy and corporations. Donald Trump deregulated key sectors, poisoned your water.
I have a feeling it's always like this.
These fucking weirdo
No, Arizona.
On a path.
No, Arizona was always going to go red.
And you're over here thinking that voting for the orange man is going to somehow materially benefit you. It's not, okay? This is the same principle that so many people exhibit, okay? You handsome and I love your opinions, though. Okay, thank you. But remember, Donald Trump winning the presidency is not going to improve your life. It's actually going to continue making it worse because there are fundamental problems that you have that you're experiencing in here, okay? And major material issues that you are experiencing as well. And neither party is actually providing any adequate solutions to that. But all you are thinking is maybe if I fucking own people that have less than I do, then my life will be at least noticeably better. It will not. Okay? You need to understand that. It is not going to improve your life at all. Owning the libs is not going to improve your life. It is a way for Donald Trump and the Republican Party to distract you away as they pick your fucking pockets and rob you blind. He doesn't give a fuck about you. You don't make $10 million a year. He does not give a fuck about you. You could die and he wouldn't give a shit. I thought you were the smart one. If Kamala wins, the world will be destroyed by wars. The world is being destroyed by wars currently. Kamala Harris is not the president, and it doesn't fucking change that dynamic even a little bit. All right. Donald Trump wins Montana.
That one was a given.
Expected. Electoral College estimate showing Trump within 288. Popular vote estimate for Harris has gone down to plus 0.1. Pennsylvania is 56%. Republican lean. What are the odds of Trump winning the whole thing? The odds are in favor of Donald Trump, certainly.
What Tom just mentioned about the exit poll.
75%.
Do your caveats, but for Trump to win the Hispanic vote in Pennsylvania would be pretty huge because there's a big Hispanic population in Pennsylvania, especially in that Lehigh Valley.
That's right. There's a big Puerto Rican population in Pennsylvania too, the most of any battleground. So let's talk about where that is. And I want to start with the national Latino vote here in Savannah. Love you for the grain of salt caveat. We know that these exit polls could shift a little bit, but here's what's so interesting here. It is Kamala Harris, of course, the vice president, who is winning the Latino vote over former President Trump. 53%.
That actually threw me off. I was surprised that.
Nationwide. But the number that you want to look at is 45%.
It's Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not looking hot. Minnesota. Why is Minnesota taking forever? And Maine.
2020, I mean, this is a double-digit plus overperformance from where he was just 4 years ago. And if you get into,
I don't like that number. I do not like that number.
We were just talking about Nevada. Looking at my clock,
oh my
the polls closed like 7 minutes ago.
We aren't crazy, right? We see he's a fascist. Yes.
You can pull up Nevada. You can see Latino voters, about 17% of the electorate there, broke for Kamala
voting
Harris.
to deport their families.
46%. But again, it's about the overperformance.
Well, bro, you claim you're not left, but your cries and groans and screams you are. I am left. I don't think you know what that means. I'm more to the left than the Democratic Party is, that's for sure.
Around the Trump campaign, what did we hear again and again? interesting and important story here tonight, guys.
I want to bring in someone from our insider's desk right now. Jim Messina was campaign manager for President Obama's reelection in 2012. Jim, what are you seeing here right now? And what are each of the sides telling themselves based on this data?
You seem to be right that Harris could lose the popular vote and still win. Yeah, I mean,
2 counties that I'm following in Pennsylvania.
that is if she fucking wins Pennsylvania. If she doesn't win Pennsylvania, she lost. She lost the popular vote and the fucking electoral college. I said that the funniest likely outcome would be Kamala Harris losing the general election because of Trump's fucking turnout demon behavior. Okay. Oh, fuck. I got to talk to the Canadian broadcast in like, what a fucking terrible time. I am going to do a Zoom call live in front of 300,000 people with
guys.
CBC
I'm gonna be
right now, as a matter of fact. In like the next
overall number with those
13
seniors.
minutes.
So those are 3 things that I'm
Or
seeing
not
very
even 13.
early that make her campaign pretty happy. But in general, Trump is running up numbers
What a night.
in rural.
What a night,
better
ladies
than
and
he did in
gentlemen.
2020, which has to concern the Harris campaign.
And we talked a lot about young men who are breaking for Trump. We saw the MAGA hats and some of the long lines at the universities.
Yep.
Is that unexpected at the level of the lines you're seeing?
I think.
Okay, I'm done calling shit. I literally said, what if all the young people that are voting for voting on college campuses are voting for Donald Trump? I didn't mean it when I said that. I meant like, haha, like, wouldn't it be funny? Like, that's probably not real. And now it's looking like that might have been happening. And I was just,
I can't think.
That's my bad, guys. Fuck it. That's my bad.
77. 77.
The CBS reporter on a PA college campus said a lot of students were bringing up the Joe Rogan interview as an influence. Oh my God, stop.
Cooked. We're fucked. Oh my God. Everyone's treating this as a meme.
Political
Everyone
analyst,
is
bitch, what do you
treating
mean?
this
Like,
as a meme.
I hope you feel vindicated. I don't, because being correct in this issue, being correct on any number of different things that I've said that were horrible decisions made by the Kamala Harris campaign is not a victory at all. You want to know why it's not a victory at all? Because Donald Trump wants to deport 20 million people, okay?
He does.
He wants to build
He wants to
concentration
deport
camps.
everyone.
It is being right on this issue still does not feel good at all. It feels very bad, as a matter of fact. Especially because it just shows that, like, we have no way of reaching out to a lot of these people and that things are going to get far worse in the upcoming years. They're going to get much, much worse if Kamala Harris loses Pennsylvania.
Coalition. They had to get more younger voters, more black voters, more Latino voters, even by small amounts to join their coalition. In the battleground states, they are seeing that happen. And if it does happen, it would be a historic realignment of the parties. Now, again, none of these battlegrounds have been called, but with all the battleground states now closed, the voting is done, except for the folks who are waiting in line. They feel like there's not much else left for them
Exit
to
poll
do,
in New York,
but
Jewish
watch and
voters.
wait, and an
Harris
increasingly,
56%, Trump 43%. Holy moly.
and at Mar-a-Lago, where Trump and his closest allies, friends, and family are watching the results come in. Savannah.
All right, thank you, Garrett.
All right, let's
Muslim
go with
voters,
Peter Alexander now. He's with
64%
the
for Kamala
campaign
Harris,
in
by the way.
Washington, D.C. What's the optimism level there tonight?
Well, I think there's certainly a level of anxiety, at least according to some of the Harris allies with whom I've been speaking to over the course of the last hour or so. One ally telling me that, just look at the state of North Carolina, Josh Stein, the Democrat winning his effort to become the state's governor. That we were able to project a while back, but obviously not the same for Kamala Harris, at least not yet. That indicates that there's clearly some split ticket voters there. Some folks
I wish I can find a website that tells me how much voters is left. Let me go on MSNBC.
projection already in that state right now. They say that is an indicator that gives some anxiety right now going forward that North Carolina may not be a state that they're able to win. If that happens, and these are all ifs, it's all very early here, that does again shrink their path to victory to 270. They really are relying heavily on those blue wall states right now. And one of those key states, obviously, is Pennsylvania, the biggest prize of them all with 19.
Carlton is red for us. Lake and Cook. I think Cook is actually blue. It's in Lake of the Woods. Lake of the Woods is going to be red.
Needle is going firmly in the Trump camp. Firmly. Firmly in the Trump camp.
I'm really sick.
95 Electoral College estimate. Trump popular vote estimate is now at plus 0.04.
So that's where a lot of them are hanging their hat, at least according to the allies I'm speaking to.
And it's not even looking good.
Racism and misogyny are a big factor in this election. Racism and misogyny in the United States of America is a big factor in every election. Kamala Harris is a black woman. Everybody knows that. That was always going to be something that, you know, obviously fucking dumb racist misogynist people were going to pay attention to and discount her for. You work within your benefits.
Come on. I don't want Royce White as
the
my
advantages you have, and you work against your disadvantages.
Tammy
That's just
Baldwin
how
just-
campaigns work, okay? You can't
Okay.
magically change Kamala Harris into a white man. And you shouldn't say, I don't want this person to run because they're a black woman or a black man or not white, okay?
illegal. Okay, good.
You shouldn't say that. But the way you outcompete that is by making a case,
No.
making an argument that you're going to help people, okay? Trying to rely on suburban white women to come to your
No.
favor, to come to your side by hugging and kissing Liz Cheney is not the way to do that. You're actually so sped.
She did a bad decision on
Oh, great. So
like
much of this is
hanging
gonna
around
happen.
Liz Cheney a lot. I'll be honest about that. I mean, she was kind of like
Well, at least
waiting
we got fucking
away
Hogs back
from
in
the
the building.
Democratic Party. But at the same time,
That's cool.
she was trying to get like Republicans who did not want Trump, and I feel like some Republicans who did not want Trump.
Same
said,
story
fuck
we
it
just talked about in
regardless.
Florida. And this is the difference.
What's
Again,
the
I go
worst
back
that can
to the
happen?
Republican Party for the last 4 years has
Okay,
been
don't give me
Don't
hope.
even let them cope like this. The campaign was shit and didn't address
Don't
any
give
of
me
the important
hope.
topics that people actually cared about, and sometimes did the opposite. I know.
for the last 4 years. And it has padded them. It's what Texas, look, Republicans got stronger in Texas. I mean, that Latino vote in Texas, when you've got over 60% Latino men moving in Texas towards the Republicans, that's realignment. That is realignment that's happening.
And I think we have another Senate call to make now.
It's funny to see Democrats like after running fucking like. I fear that Democrats are going to run the most racist campaign you've ever done fucking seen after this realignment.
And there's against Larry Hogan, former governor.
I hate this too. I hate this
170,000 votes
too.
there.
I'm not relaxed.
The
I
Senate
am.
the Republicans have picked up 1 seat. They need to pick up 2 to take control.
Quick
of the
recap of how you're
Senate,
feeling.
and the
I
ones hanging in
am
the
not
balance right now in
confident.
terms of that
I am
are
now going to be
Ohio, Sherrod
tuning
Brown in the fight
into
for his
the
political
Canadian
career in Ohio.
broadcaster.
We've got Michigan. We're watching Alyssa Slotkin trying to hold on to that seat after.
I'm going to be tuning into the Canadian broadcaster right now to do a Zoom meeting with them. Okay. I'm going to launch this meeting. Hopefully it'll work. Why is it not working? Hello. Join from the browser. This meeting link is invalid.
78, dude.
Meeting link is
70
invalid.
fucking 8.
It is not working. That's not good.
These are
With the
neck
guns out,
and
yeah,
neck.
with the guns out, baby. You already know.
Oh
Okay. Well, we'll
my
continue.
god,
while I
Minnesota.
wait for
Fucking
that.
hell. I
Oh,
was seeing so
Oh, my
much.
lord.
I was seeing so much.
At least we can still watch House and Ivy while the country burns.
That's valid. That's valid. Watching House and Hobby while the country.
Move to Canada if you hate the hogs, lol. Well, the irony is Canada is also fucking infested with hogs.
Yep.
So
Wisconsin keeps
there's
flipping.
that problem too.
Pennsylvania.
Hogs are impossible to avoid.
Still the same
okay?
margin.
Hogs are like the top of the hour ad break, impossible to avoid unless you subscribe for $6.
North
or for
Carolina's
free on
out.
Twitch Prime,
North Carolina's
or by
out.
getting gifted a sub. The Needle is now officially at 79% projecting a Trump victory. Holy fuck. Twitch Prime is free. I'm not running a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, but you can still subscribe if you'd like to. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, and it's getting worse and worse. Leftists need to organize them fast. I mean, you never stop organizing, win or lose. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change the reality. Are we cooked? I mean, is the country cooked? Yes. But the country was cooked, as I said, time and time again. Whether Kamala Harris wins or loses, the country is cooked. It's just a matter of how much worse it is going to get. With Donald Trump, it is definitely slated to get significantly worse. Not just this country that's cooked, though. Many other countries are cooked as well. Is Austin coming on too? Austin has not replied. Not if Chuck Schumer passes the anti-Semitism bill gets passed through Mississippi, we might not be able to legally watch you. There's also that too. Aren't these already projected red? The
Democrats made gains here.
The issue is Pennsylvania. If Pennsylvania, Kamala Harris doesn't win Pennsylvania, it's over. The race is over. It's done.
Trump's a little bit short of that number. That was a bad number for him, and he's a little bit short of it now.
I hope it's gone.
This is the thing to look for. With all of this remaining election day vote still to be counted, is Trump? Is that not? We just saw this happen in Lackawanna County. Is that going to happen in Cumberland County? Is Trump going to gain enough that he hits that number and surpasses that 2020 number? This is the kind of place where his campaign needs to win back ground that they lost in 2020. This is a big part of why, or a significant part of why Trump lost Pennsylvania in 2020. So we're going to follow that as it continues to come in. And I can also note Butler County. This is red. Obviously, it was heavily in the news this summer with that Trump rally. Believe it or not, Butler County in the Trump era, which started in 2016, while it's still deeply red, has actually gotten less red. This has been a bit of a growth area, suburbs.
I have a feeling it's the Red Mirage.
Democrats actually
I really hope I have a feeling it's the Red Mirage.
In 2020.
Really have.
He won it by 37 points in 2016.
Pennsylvania.
In 2020. This is a place where Democrats would like to make more gains. Right now, it's basically exactly where it landed in 2020. And again, there's not a ton, but there's more of that same-day vote to come. And this is, again, the kind of place where the Trump campaign's goal coming into tonight would be to stop those losses.
There's no pathway to 270 votes for Kamala Harris without Pennsylvania. It's the most populous out of all of the electoral colleges, out of all of the electoral college swing states, and it's the one that she absolutely needs, including Michigan and Wisconsin.
Dude, I really fucking hate
the likelihood that she wins Michigan and Wisconsin is higher.
The Needle
I'm calling
is
it Intermentum,
78.
For additional analysis now.
78.
Did it look this bad in 2020 for Biden at this time, or was it significantly better? I don't remember, but 2020 was a little different because there was heavy early voting.
Yep, heavy early voting.
I'm waiting for CBC to send me a new link because the Zoom link that they sent me is broken.
38 million to 43. Oh, it could be all the high.
You're back on. At Intermentum, everybody. So I just want to let you know quick that I might have to abruptly end the call because I have I'm supposed to be zooming into the Canadian broadcaster in a little bit. And oh shit, they actually did send me a new link. Hold on. Just give us a quick update on what you think is happening in terms of
polling broadly was right. The shit pollsters that were hurting seemed to kind of get things right. The higher quality ones that did really well in 2022 seems to have overclocked Kamala a bit. The path here is really like the shitty, narrow Joe Biden 270 path. It's hypothetically possible that she could get through the blue wall through Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, All those states are
I'm
still
feeling sick, guys. I'm feeling.
rated as
I'm not.
toss-ups by the
I'm
New
not
York
feeling good.
Times.
I'm not feeling.
They should be correlated with each other. These are not toss-ups that lean
Guys.
towards
Ministers,
her.
which
I
officials
think.
are doing what work?
Michigan, they have. No, the Michigan is no wrong state. My browser fucked up.
Oh shit. Okay. I have to run really quickly. Because
Yeah.
they're ready for me, the Canadian broadcaster. But I'm gonna call you back in a second. Okay.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What is going on here?
Part of a future Trump administration
oh,
should Donald
wait.
Trump win. That relationship has been
Hello? Can you hear
maintained
me?
with an eye towards the future.
Hi,
Hello?
Hassan. This is Gabby over in radio. Just double checking that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. No problem.
This is not very
Hello?
pog. This is not very pog. You are
Do
right.
that.
I'm muting the
What do you think?
desktop
I'm
audio
barely
real quick
talking
so you
right
can't-
now.
So you don't.
I can't think.
I'm muting the desktop audio. I'm muting.
What does
them
she just
so
get?
that you don't hear them. Ano, şu anda konuşamam. Canadian broadcaster ile konuşuyorum.
She
Ne
just
var?
got one. Not Del
Yok, açma
Maryland. She
kapıyı,
got
al kaydı, ne
Maryland.
olur.
Maryland, Rhode Island. Maine is barely reporting. Minnesota is still at 3%. My county
Call
is blue.
was like two old friends, really very cordial. And we know the relationship has been mercurial. So some of that relationship building is really something that I think people around Justin Trudeau will be leaning
Let me
on.
see the
and
house.
trying to,
They
know,
want me
do
to
a
count
lot
for them. Okay. 1,
Ah,
2, 3,
no.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Going into
We appreciate you counting. Thank you so much. We'll come to you shortly.
Those
Okay,
efforts
thank
have been
you.
made. And of course, those two have been in the room together before. And I've spoken to Canadian officials.
I
who have
told them
been in
that
the
I'm
room
live
with
in front
her,
of
talking about
300,000
how she's,
people.
somebody who really wants to get down to business, really wants to get things done. In that case, there is more of a sense that there are shared values there. They know she's very concerned about issues like labor rights and the environment, things that matter a lot to Justin Trudeau.
They wanted me to
but
count
at the same
so
time,
that I
they
could-
appreciate that there could be pressure there going forward. I know
Virginia
when they
just
attempted
flipped again.
build more of these relationships and have more meetings with the Biden administration, the incoming Biden administration last time around, though they were told that there just wasn't an interest in having conversations with foreign government. That
I
the
feel like
sense
it's gonna be
now very
another
was not
they
the time to
stole
do
the
that.
election
Whoever wins, though, I
thing.
we have to
I
be honest,
very much think it's
particularly
the
is
Red
Donald Trump.
Mirage.
You will
Because
see
Minnesota has barely
officials, perhaps it will
reported.
happen quietly. A lot more of them heading to the United
Yeah.
States. This work has been going on for months. This Team Canada approach that was really built during the first Trump administration.
some
but there will
hope.
be more leaning in as the results are known.
Thanks, Catherine. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Well, when we were talking to Noah, the
Needles at
13-year-old, little
81%,
young people are getting
man.
their information in very different ways, and maybe the three of us around the table here do. We're all on some of the social media, but we get it through traditional media for the most part. But I now want to reach out to someone else who is providing information on a platform that I'm not that familiar with. You may not be either. I don't know. Hassan Piker has been reaching thousands of young people through this election period. He's a left-leaning Twitch streamer
I'm not
with
looking
more
at
than
Arizona anymore.
2.7
I'm not
million
looking at
followers on
Arizona.
the platform. Hassan, I think
It's
that
only 11 and 5, so that's like
300,000
15
people
right
are
there.
with you now. Is that right?
That's right. There's currently 300,000 people watching the live stream and listening to CBC Radio Election Night.
Well, hello to all of you. Glad to have you with us, and you as well, Hassan. It's a broad group of people, but what are you and your followers watching most closely tonight?
I am locked in on the blue wall, specifically Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin tonight. That is what I've been paying close attention to this entire time. I think the race is going to hinge on that. For the Canadians out there who don't know, we have a very weird system called the Electoral College. It's quite undemocratic, as a matter of fact. And these are the three states that Kamala Harris must win in order to secure a victory in the general election. She has to win these states to go over the 270 barrier.
You are reaching tens of thousands of young people. So a lot of Gen Z or Gen Z, as we say up here in Canada, Gen Alpha. These are groups that politicians of all stripes are
trying to get to listen to them, trying to reach. What do you think politicians are missing in their efforts to reach young people?
I think politicians everywhere, specifically in the Western world, are not really addressing a lot of the material inequalities and the harms that the younger generations are facing. I think that I speak for a lot of people when I say that if you're under the age of 35, the likelihood that you will retire at a reasonable age has become basically a dream. It's not going to happen. The likelihood that you'll ever own a home is seemingly also impossible. And I think that there's a major crisis there that no one seems to want to address. So in the absence of that, I think a lot of reactionary sentiment reaches to these vulnerable young men in particular and causes them to choose a right-wing slant. And we're kind of seeing that right now in at least the exit polls coming out of Michigan, where the majority of the young male voters in the state of Michigan are saying that they're actually in favor of Donald Trump in the 18 to 35 demographic. This is really dangerous for the future of not only this country, but for most other countries as well.
And Hassan, I introduced you as a left-leaning Twitch streamer. So I only say that because I want to ask you this question: is what are the issues, the people you're hearing from on your stream? What are the issues that they care a lot about?
Yeah. Can you hear me well, by the way? I might have changed my microphone.
I can. I think you just switched over microphones. You sound great.
I did. Okay. So the question was, what are the issues that
what are you
young
hearing
people
from the people who follow you in terms of issues that they care about?
I would say that obviously abortion rights are a major problem here in the country. Our Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and abortion protections that we all took for granted. And beyond that, I think another very important issue is America's foreign policy, specifically as it pertains to Israel and Palestine. A lot of young people do care about that quite a bit. But outside of that, in terms of domestic issues, I think that healthcare is a major problem here in this country. Young people face the exact same problems that older generations face. In terms of access to medical care, there's a massive divide in terms of like rural healthcare. For example, we have a lot of hospital closures happening in rural areas. And beyond that, we obviously still have an insane thing called medical debt in this country. And I think that's all because of private interests. And this is something that young people definitely care about.
This is not POG. This is not POG.
In terms of inflation, we have an affordability crisis, and more importantly than anything else, housing is a major problem.
It's going to be at 80.
All right, Hassan, we'll have to leave it there. Appreciate you so much for taking part in this tonight.
All right, thank you for having me.
That's Hassan Piker, a left-leaning Twitch streamer with 300,000 people watching that Twitch stream. You ever been on Twitch?
I'm still in here, but I'm muted.
Answer that question. Well, I wouldn't even know how to go on Rob Russo.
No. All right, I'm out. They ended it.
You need Kelly to hurry up and get counted.
That was short, awkward.
Yeah, because
thank you, Hassan, for doing this for my country. Yeah, you know, I try
this
my
is how it
best.
works.
All right, let's get back
like
to
mail-in balloting. Mail-in
let's get back to
voting is like the last thing that's
consequences of running a
early voting is one of the last
campaign.
The day of is always counted first. Vote votes day of. Bingo bongo.
At all. I don't think it was awkward. I think chatters will consider it to be awkward because you just have to be short, clear, concise.
Georgia is getting closer.
Back, you're quiet. What do you mean? No, this is the microphone I was using.
Georgia
is. No, did that thing happen where my microphone is now quieter than it was before? Oh no. I wonder if volume went down when you switched. Fuck. That literally is okay, I brought it up. I brought the gain up. Hopefully it'll fix itself. All right. No, they're fucking lying. I don't think anything changed. I think I'm looking at the audio levels. It is changing. So here it is. The Biden headwind hurting Harris tonight. Biden's approval rating 38.5%. Disapproval 56.3%. Seems to me like maybe she should have separated herself further from Joseph Robinette Brandon, the person that she replaced. The person that she replaced, remember, was as in there was such a major problem. There was such a major issue originally with Biden that Biden had to unceremoniously drop out and have Kamala Harris replace Windows sound suppression when joining calls. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
They
You signed it tinny at first, but then switched and was all good. Appreciate you not mincing word. A lot of issues are shared between the countries. They had to get rid of you after you mentioned Palestine? No. Michigan is leading Trump now. I mean, if Pennsylvania is gone, then Michigan is gone too. I would be. I would doubt a system where like she ends up fucking
83.
I doubt that she loses Pennsylvania and then keeps Michigan as well. CBC is very anti-Palestine. Okay, well,
I'm scared.
Who knows? PA 3.1 to 2.8 are now. Kamala lost his election when she said she wouldn't have changed a single thing over the last 4 years.
California is in
Georgia called for Trump.
27.
Decision Desk is projecting a Donald J. Trump victory in Georgia.
That one
Georgia had 3 million early votes. I expect to flip. I don't know about that. All right, let's do it. Let's bring him.
No, it would not. Notice how the tone of my voice is going.
Let's bring in Edinger Mentum real quick. Let's call him back up. Now that I talked to the communist nation of Canada.
Georgia's called it.
Hello. I'm back from my brief stint with the communist territories of Canada.
Yeah. I don't. Let me check where Georgia is, but the story here is very simple in Georgia, and it's you can say everybody say hello to Bobby in the background. That's my dog. She's a sweetheart. But what happened in Georgia is very similar to 2022 with the Warnock race, but in one direction. We see in the state that Trump made gains in the rural areas, like Herschel Walker did. Senator Warnock managed to survive those gains by outperforming Biden in the entire metro area, both the suburbs and the inner city, by
I think all the
high single
city
digits.
areas
That
have
was enough to get him to a 3-point win in the runoff. Kamala Harris, her margins in the metro area would have been enough for her to carry the state if she did not lose ground in the rural Georgia. If she did not lose ground across the state other than Atlanta. She
That's
lost
where all the
ground
sexist
in essentially everywhere in Georgia, south of Atlanta. She was inconsistent in North Georgia, and I don't think that she is going to, did all that well in the small cities. It was a death by 1,000 cuts. It looks similar in North Carolina here. To the extent she has a path, it's by doing what she failed to do in Georgia and North Carolina, although I will say that these states are not called yet, where she's able to counteract Republican swings in rural Pennsylvania, Michigan, and seems to be Wisconsin, although only one county is done, and it's a Native American county. It was a small
I have a question for you real quick. Yeah. So Kamala Harris's method of suburban turnout was a demonstrable fucking failure in Georgia.
Absolutely.
An unimaginable failure. So the reason why, I mean, I don't want to do the "I told you so" route in this situation, not to you in particular.
We should.
But
we can't do the "I told you so" route because we did. I was trying to be bullish on her. I fundamentally believed in the world of 2022. I believe in the world where Americans, with given a generic Democrat, would choose them over Trump. We've seen that time and time again. We saw that in 2022. Democrats had the best midterm election since the Great Depression.
We are.
But you can't fucking force it with your ideological, centrist, center-right, neocon preferences. You can't force this interventionist bullshit ideologies down people's throats. You have to meet them where they are. You have to run somebody people see as a capable, charismatic leader. You can't be trying to fucking convince them to bring back the Iraq War era. They rejected that in 2008. You won off of a platform that said that we should spend money at home and not overseas. You get elected 12 years later off of a platform where you're saying we're going to create an interventionism of foreign policy for the middle class. Meet people where they are. They've clearly rejected you. Before Biden, who was the Senate Foreign Relations Committee who spearheaded the Iraq War resolution at the objection of every single Democrat who was around from the Kennedy era, they were every single president since 2004, when Bush barely won after 9/11, ran on an anti-interventionist platform. Obama ran out of pulling out of wars.
Donald
Obama
Trump
in 2012 ran out of not going to war with Russia.
Donald Trump
in
literally in 2016. Donald Trump in 2016 ran to the fucking left of Hillary Clinton.
I don't like this
presenting
easing.
himself
I don't
as
like
a
this
peaceful
easing.
dove to the Hillary Clinton's warmongering ways. This was massively beneficial
I am
in
repeating
making
words. I
him
am
look like
He was
a
seen as a
moderate.
moderate.
Yes.
He was seen as a moderate. He was widely seen as a moderate. And the reason why Democrats came back in 2018, 2020, 2022, winning nearly every single state that matters, often by landslide margins, between 2016 and 2024, Democrats had not lost a meaningful statewide race in Pennsylvania. They had not lost a single statewide race in Michigan. They had not lost practically any meaningful statewide races in Wisconsin besides 2022 when an incumbent, Ron Johnson, barely won against the leftist Mandela Barnes. They won both Senate seats in Georgia. They won the governor's race in North Carolina. They won both Senate seats in Arizona, both Senate seats in Nevada, the governor's race in Arizona. Their mainstream liberalism is a formula that wins when you run somebody who is seen as capable and competent. Americans don't want Trumpism. They rejected Trumpism for nearly a decade straight. But you can't beat Trumpism when you try to force these hated D.C. Washington swamp psychos with -20 favorable and approval ratings down their throats because it's what you want. Because it's what they want. They want this center-right, Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney foreign policy. They want these wars overseas. They want this support for Israel. They want endless war everywhere. They want these endless commitments. They want American hegemony as the sole purpose of the American state. It's an ideology that has been rejected time and time and time again.
Support already. Come on.
And they can't get over it. And they're throwing us all off into the fucking abyss because they can't get over it. They need to grow up. They need to be rooted out, root and stem. That is our project. If she can't pull out a fucking miracle in these 3 Midwestern states off of abortion, if she can't pull a rabbit out of a goddamn hat, our project for the next 4 years is making it clear that the centrists were the ones who failed us. We gave them the ball. We gave them the ball in 2020. They promised they could be electable. They barely beat Trump. They came into office with massive public support after January 6th, and they failed time and time and time again. They ran an 80-year-old man for re-election, a hated 80-year-old man. They credited a midterm victory that was so clearly the result of people running away from Biden. Not a single person in the Democratic Party in 2022 ran on the Joe Biden platform.
Wow, Arizona's
Raphael Warnock, the Gretchen Whitmer, the John Fetterman did not run with Joe Biden. They didn't even say they supported him for re-election, and they won because people saw them as different. And then you run the person who they see as a failure, you're going to fail.
Yeah, there was no constituency, and not only was there never really a constituency, it was like a purely ideological grift from the Democratic Party. They just one thing that I think is really interesting about this is that they always claim that people like myself, people like yourself, are these like idealistic fucking losers who just want who want a unicorn, right? Like that's what Hillary Clinton said about Medicare for all. Oh, what's next? You want a unicorn? And it's like the things that we are advocating for are not only morally correct, but they're also massively beneficial in terms of the race, in terms of winning races. Even if you are not genuinely interested in pushing the needle towards like a more just society, towards expansion of Medicare in a very significant way, not like at home care or whatever the fuck focus tested shit that Kamala Harris was pushing for.
Like focus grouped, shitty fucking things.
Even if that wasn't the case, like even if you weren't going to do that, like you couldn't even fucking lie about it, which blows my goddamn mind. Like at least fucking lie about it. And the fact that they chose not to even do that, the fact that they chose not to even dignify the base of support with lies to get them excited at the prospect, like Barack Obama did in 2008, is genuinely shocking. We are not the idealists here.
We are the
fucking
pragmatists.
Centrists, yes, we are pragmatic.
They are the fucking idealists. They are the ideologues. They are the people doing what they accuse the left of, where they prioritize their bullshit ideological crusades over pragmatic winning and stopping fascism. These people prioritized their stupid fucking neocon bullshit over actually doing what needed to be done.
Yeah,
they
also,
prioritized it at every fucking turn.
We also have some more damning news from David Day, and House is starting to slip away from the Dems. This result in what was considered a safe seat in Illinois is the big shocker so far, with Joshua Lloyd with 72% of the votes in. The Republican candidate is clobbering Nikki Budzinski.
Yeah, even the hope that existed under Biden that there would be some degree of separation between a generic liberal, someone like Bob Casey or Tammy Baldwin or any of these House members who won in 2022, they would be like separated from the Biden administration, something that made sense in theory, did not work in this high turnout electorate. When you have these low information voters, these low engagement voters, the kinds of voters who only show up every 4 years for presidential races and don't show up in special elections and runoffs and all these other races, when you have these voters showing up here, they just see the Democrat on the ticket as one and the same with this administration that they despise.
Yeah, but listen, you want to know what the silver lining in all of this is? Kamala Harris wanted to appoint a Republican to her cabinet, and honestly, now it's going to be all Republicans, and it seems like Democrats love that shit. So
yeah, they'll be fine. You're happy. You wanted Liz Cheney running the CIA. You're going to get more than enough of that.
Yeah.
The thing is with this, after 2016 was a legitimate upset. 2016 was something that was truly surprising. We didn't see it coming. Clinton was a very popular politician at some points in her career. She had the backing of this political machine that had won countless times. Trump was this person with minus 40% personal favorables. He was rejected by his party. Less than a month before the election, you had all these establishment figures who were telling him to drop out of the race. It was a legitimate question as to why he won. There were legitimate things Democrats needed to do. There wasn't a clear path forward because the party had been losing under Obama since 2010. They got blown out in 2010. They got blown out in 2014. They got killed in all these races leading up to 2016. What we have now, we have a party that is
Budzinski is up, by the way. Sorry to cut you off, but that was error in reporting, data entry error. Budzinski's actually up.
Yeah, but the thing is, the difference between this and 2016
and she won.
is that, after 2016, reasonable people could disagree on what the proper path forward is. Centrists had a legitimate case that they had a perfectly viable, even the most viable ideology electorally, and that they had just been they just happened to run this person who was corrupt and personally unpopular, and it fucked them. They run Biden.
It doesn't make any sense. Biden, Kamala Harris would not be running for Kamala Harris would not be the presidential candidate right now if Joseph Robinette Brandon was not so unimaginably unpopular that he had to do the unceremonious, unique thing of dropping the fuck out. Why the fuck would you spend any of your truncated campaign running towards the fucking unpopular person? Why would you keep that unpopular person's own? Why would you keep his campaign? Why would you keep his campaign? Why would you run towards him? Why would you consistently say you are going to be just like him, but
they sacrificed our future on the altar of their fucking petulant, childish fetish towards Joe Biden. They sacrificed a clear path towards winning that we've seen be successful time and time and time again because they didn't want to admit that they did something wrong, even when the signs were clear every single step of the way. They were children. They were childish. They chose their feelings over what could have been done to easily be successful. People don't like Donald Trump. They've never liked Donald Trump. There's not been a single moment of this man's career that he has ever had personal positive favorability. That has never been the case for any national politician of his length of his career before. But he's probably going to be a two-term president because they insist on their fucking ideological centrist bullshit.
There's still people in the chat going, bro, shut the fuck.
Who the fuck is that?
Team, look at that. 4 years ago, he won it by 8. This is exactly what the Trump campaign said it was going to do in a place like Burke County. It was going to take that and it was going to make it double digits. They've made it double digits in Burke County. We check in on Luzerne County, and again, we've been talking about this one. As that same day vote comes in, this is Wilkes-Barre, this is Hazleton, another county with a substantial Hispanic population, one of the highest in Pennsylvania. Now Trump has hit his 2020 number there, and he's got a long way to go here. All that vote that's still to come in, we expect to be election day vote. The pattern, the trend is pretty clear here. So again, you're seeing Trump in good position in one of those big counties, densely populated counties in northeast Pennsylvania. Take a look down here at Cumberland County. We talked about this one a little while ago. This was a big hope for Democrats in Pennsylvania coming into tonight. Again, 95% means basically it's all in Cumberland County. Again, 2020 looked like this. It's basically the same. It's a fraction of a point different. But that's a win for the Trump campaign because in the context, look at this. It was an 18-point race. Trump won here by 18 points in 2016. Democrats made a huge jump. This was one of their biggest in the state in 2020, bringing it down to 10. They wanted to keep this going tonight. They didn't. Trump was able to stop the losses in Cumberland County. So again, that's something that encourages that his campaign exactly wanted to see right there. We're starting to get Erie County. Again, this would be the vote by mail in Erie County. The story we've been talking about elsewhere now is going to play out in Erie. This is the bellwether. It's one of the two that switched sides to Biden in 2020.
I'm feeling
the
sick.
name of the game in the final two-thirds of the vote is can Trump catch Harris with the election day vote. Just checking in on Philadelphia, we're up to two-thirds of the vote now in Philadelphia. And again, this is just Philadelphia, the city. And again, I think this is becoming a bit of a theme we're seeing in multiple states now, the Hispanic vote. Why did Trump make some progress? It was small, but it was there in Philadelphia in 2020. It was because he improved with Hispanic voters in Hispanic areas of the city. With two-thirds of the vote in Philadelphia now, it's 77-21. Well, that looks terrible, but compare that to 2020, and look at that. Trump is running 3.5 points better in Philadelphia than he did in 2020. Harris now 4 points off the Biden number. There is more mail to come, more vote by mail to come in Philadelphia. That will be a boost to Harris, but there's also more same-day vote to come, and you can see Trump is running above his 2020 levels there. So where this lands, the Trump campaign's goal in Philadelphia is basically get that Biden number under 80%. So far, they're on course to do that. There's the wild card of the mail there that adds a lot of volatility to this. But again, you're starting to, as these counties fill in, you're starting to see some patterns, and patterns you're not just seeing in one state, you're seeing them in multiple states right now.
Oh no, is there a new? Is there a new? Is there? Guys, I don't know. I do not know what to think, what to believe. I am scared for the future. This we got. Like these three. Minnesota hasn't even reported yet, dude. I should really calm down. I should really. Georgia's a given. Yeah. Like the margin's getting slimmer in Georgia. North Carolina and Pennsylvania. The margin is getting closer. It might seem big, but the margin's getting closer.
Walz, if he was at the top of the ticket right now, this would not even be a conversation that we're having. Tim Walz is a gem.
He was the sole candidate in this entire race who had positive personal favorables.
Yeah. They wasted it. They wasted his
They
opportunity.
did. They wasted.
Literally turned around and
he's at
backpocketed
87% chance.
him. And they forced him to fucking repeat talking points that were coming from the top of the ticket. And yeah,
Arizona. Why is Arizona so
Tim
close,
Walz,
man?
when he talks about like giving people health care, when he talks about housing, you can see how hard he pops off. When he talks about like, you know, Israel's first strike policy against Iran, he's like, he sounds like a fucking asshole in a suit, just like everyone else. Josh Shapiro at least would have been a more charismatic facilitator of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He literally would have done
Josh
a better
Shapiro
job than
would've
Tim
won.
Walz to be like, yeah, I would love to fucking nuke Iran, or I would love to have a muscular border policy. Tim Walz sucked at that.
I wouldn't I'm not too fucking proud. I'm not going to say some bullshit like you have to run a fucking socialist in every election to win. You just have to run somebody who looks competent. Josh Shapiro won in Pennsylvania against a Trump toady by 15 points.
It's gonna be real
This
interesting
isn't
to see how it
complicated.
turns out.
We don't need like some fucking magic sauce.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
just
it's gonna
need
be
somebody who's
pretty
capable
intriguing.
of like looking like they can govern the country. Not this fucking
This guy's
old
pissing me
man,
off. This guy
81-year-old
is
failure who's
full
been in
on
Washington.
pissing me
Just
off.
happened. We can
Nixon
tell you about
administration,
one we've been
not his
following North Carolina, where
unqualified-
statewide you can see 85% of the vote now in Donald Trump maintaining that lead in the neighborhood of 150,000 votes. The big thing that just happened is we have been talking about the giant, core city counties where Democrats need the big margins. We've been waiting all night on Mecklenburg County. This is where the city of Charlotte is. Now we've got almost all of Mecklenburg County has now been reported out. Harris, no surprise, landslide margin here, but this is short of where Joe Biden was here
It is.
4 years ago. Joe Biden won Mecklenburg by 35. Right now it's 32 and a half. And again, this number, Biden lost North Carolina narrowly, but he lost it 4 years ago. The name of the game for Democrats was to make a jump here tonight. You could look at it, do it in the raw vote, and you'll really see it. 378,000. That's the number of votes Joe Biden got here in 2020. 179,000 is Trump. That is essentially a 200,000 vote margin that Democrats got out of Mecklenburg County 4 years ago. Not quite enough to win the state, but the name of the game for them tonight was build on that. Drive that over 200,000 with 90% in. There is still some votes to come in, so this is going to change, but you can see clearly the difference here is sitting at less than 175,000.
Yep.
So instead of going north of 200,000, it is on pace to finish south of where they were 4 years ago. So that's a significant development. Democrats looking at North Carolina all night.
87.
have wanted
There's
something
no
giant
needle
to come
anymore.
out of Mecklenburg. We just basically got Mecklenburg. That's what it is. The other one that I think is notable, we don't quite have all of it, but in Wisconsin, again, nearing 60% of the vote in statewide, razor thin. But again, one of those questions we asked at the start of the night, getting some clarity, and it's in the most Democratic vote-producing margin county in the state, Dane County. Almost 90% of the vote in here. We're getting close to all the vote in Dane County. Significance here, Democrats rely so much on Dane County in Wisconsin now because they've lost so much ground in the rural areas of this state. I said at the start of the night, every single presidential election this century, the Democrats have added to their margin in Dane County. They have squeezed more and more and more out of it. Take a look at this. 4 years ago, Biden wins Dane County. It's the University of Wisconsin is here by 53 points, and that is a margin of about get that marker working. That's a margin of about 182,000 votes. Name of the game tonight was to hit that number and go further, like they have in every election this century in Dane County, with about 90% and still some votes to come. But you can see how far short they are of that number. 149,000 right now. 182 was the number back in 2020. This is the county Democrats rely on here. Also in the WOW counties, the question coming into tonight, the WOW counties being the big suburban bedroom communities right outside Milwaukee. Coming into the night, they're red now. They've consistently been red. How much less red would they get? We keyed in on Ozaukee County. Okay, this is now 60% of the vote is in Ozaukee County. Significance here is Trump lost in 2016, he won the county, but he lost so much ground that this was the worst Republican performance in Ozaukee County since 1964. This fits the profile demographically of exactly where Democrats thought they could knock it out of the park tonight. Knock it out of the park in Ozaukee County means get this down to single digits, something like that. Instead, 60% of the vote in. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. But so far, Trump has stopped the losses in Ozaukee County, which had been considerable, the decline in Ozaukee County, which had been considerable since he became the Republican candidate in 2016, and now leading by more than 14 points here. So those are some big counties, significant counties, politically significant counties, where we now have a giant chunk of the vote, and we can start to see some patterns developing. Again, just checking in statewide, close to 60%.
All these are very, very close.
There,
Like these,
statewide, but that is a county.
Yes, Minnesota's
few counties where we
reporting.
have that much vote in that size. That's very significant, potentially, what we just saw in Dane County.
What's the 6 million? Be right back, guys. I am. Doesn't need no further. It's further. Let's see, California. Very, 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 very disgusting. I'm scared. I'm fucking... There's the rest. Arizona's disgustingly close. Nevada hasn't even reported yet. What the hell is that audio? North Carolina is a lost cause. Georgia, lost cause. I almost went over when I'm like, what the fuck? Like majority Democratic areas. Democratic areas always get it last. I don't know why. Disgusting how close it is. He's at 89% likely Trump. What the fuck? GG. GG's. G fucking G. Needle's going down a little bit. Why is it so fucking close? You're over it, I'm over it too. Like, I even just want to play video games, but like, I don't want to. Look at Steve. Steve is even freaking out too. He's doing deep breaths, deep breaths. Deep breaths aren't working for me. Because a lot of people were very not against, or like they were against Biden and how he ran this country. Oregon, obviously that's gonna go to Kamala. Arizona is like very, very mixed right now. Nevada hasn't reported. Imagine if it's just like this blue strip and then a blue wall. That'd be so awesome. That would be so awesome. No, Wisconsin. No. I feel sick. I'm over. I should stop the fucking New York Times thing. It just keeps going up, keeps going down, keeps going up, down, up, down. I don't fucking know. There are still places to report, but at the same. We're gonna hear about this for like 4 years. We're gonna hear a lot of hate. We're gonna hear a lot of negative things. We are gonna go backwards as a country.
Yeah.
Thing is,
I understand. Did you just throw it at me? Oh, somebody was talking to me. IFB. I apologize. Here we go. Some more returns in Pennsylvania. As I gather my train of thought here, I wanted to update you on 3 key counties here, again, in Northeast Pennsylvania. We started the night saying, and we've said it a few times, that there are only 2 counties in Pennsylvania that are true swing counties. That is to say, they backed Donald Trump in 2016 when he won the state. Then they flipped over and they backed Joe Biden when he won the state in 2020. One of them is Erie County, where you see right now about half the vote is in. Harris is ahead here. This is primarily on the strength of the vote by mail. The question is, as the rest of the vote comes in, which we know is Republican friendly, is Trump going to catch Harris there? Put a pin in that one, because the other one, we pretty much have all the vote in right now, and it's flipping. Northampton County, this is where Easton, Pennsylvania is. This is the other county that flipped to Joe Biden in 2020 when he won the state. This fits a pattern we started talking about a little bit ago. There's a substantial Hispanic population in this county, and Donald Trump has made meaningful gains here. Joe Biden won this by a fraction of a point. It's now more than 5 points in Trump's favor, with just about all the vote counted up. We also just got a lot of the vote, almost all of it now, in Lehigh County. And again, Joe Biden won here by 8 points in 2020. It's a little under 5 right now. What's in Lehigh County? The city of Allentown is in Lehigh County. It is a majority Hispanic county. Both candidates paid a lot of attention to this. The Trump folks have bet on making gains with Hispanic voters, particularly in cities like Allentown in Pennsylvania. We don't have all the returns in from the city of Allentown yet, but what we do have shows Trump making significant further gains in that city. We also have from Monroe County just about all the vote in. This is the city of Stroudsburg. East Stroudsburg is here. Again, substantial growing Latino population. And look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden won here by 6.5 points. Kamala Harris now ahead by 0.7 of a point with just about all the vote in. Something else we've been seeing tonight, this is really, I keep pointing it out because I keep seeing it, and I think it's important to know. There's a lot of counties like this in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin where Donald Trump either won or came very close in 2016, and he lost meaningful ground in 2020 when he lost all 3 of those states. And we keep seeing this tonight. Where he's landing tonight is back where he landed in 2016. These were winning numbers for Trump. These were losing numbers from Trump. This is another county where you're seeing winning, the 2016 winning numbers for Trump. And just to put Lehigh in perspective here, too, Lehigh County, again, I think we showed you 8 for Biden, less than 5 tonight. So you're also seeing it there. We continue to see it. Philadelphia, we're monitoring this as well. Now, more than 80% of the vote is counted here. Again, compare this to 2020. Biden won here, 81-18. We're going to take it a step further back because I want you to see the longer-term trend here. In fact, I can take it all the way back to 2012 because I think it's an interesting story. In 2012, Barack Obama won this county by 71 points. Okay, the county, it's Philadelphia. It's the city of Philadelphia. Donald Trump in 2016, he brought it down to 67 points. In 2020, Trump lost ground in the state. Trump lost the entire state of Pennsylvania. But look at this. He basically brought it down to 63 points from 71, 67, 63. And tonight, right now, this is down to 56 points. From 71 in 2012 down to 56. Again, what are we seeing here? What we saw in 2020, the Hispanic precincts of Philadelphia, we saw meaningful improvement for Donald Trump. We're not talking about 10, 20, 30 points here. We're talking about enough, though, to bring 67-point gap down to 63, and tonight, currently 56. The margin for Kamala Harris in Philadelphia right now is just about 300,000 votes. Democrats would love to see that land tonight at 500,000. Boy, they got a long way to go to get there. The one thing Democrats have to hope for in Philadelphia right now is there is a large number of vote-by-mail ballots that are going to be released. Looking at my clock here, we think in the next 45 minutes or so. That should boost the Harris number in Philadelphia. That should boost the margin there. But she needs to get that back at least to where Joe Biden was 4 years ago. She needs to get that margin way up. I'm just going to take a quick look through the collar counties here because I think we're starting to get some meaningful vote. Again, these collar counties, especially Delaware, Chester, and Montgomery County, have become big core Democratic vote-producing counties. Delaware County is the most Democratic of these 3, and you can see it was 63-36 here in 2020. The name of the game in all these counties, Democrats want to be landing north of the Joe Biden number from 2020. They're on the Joe Biden number in Delaware County right now. Take a look out in Chester County. Again, this is where Democrats, I said at the start of the night, they want to land over 60% in Chester County. 59-8 for Harris right now, but the wild card is waiting on a lot of same-day vote. Is that going to affect? That number for Harris right now? And move up to Montgomery County. You know, you got cities here on the towns on the main line here, old school. 26 points for Joe Biden. It's 30 right now. Again, 30 would be where Democrats want this to land. The danger for them, though, is there's still a significant amount of same-day vote there. But Democrats need Philadelphia to come through on the mail. They need massive margins to hold in these counties, and they're also going to need that. We'll just check quickly in Allegheny County. We're getting close, by the way. Pittsburgh suburbs, we're getting close to 90% of the vote here. And again, that Harris number here right now is small, but it is slightly under the Biden number. The Trump number, 0.4 of a point better than 4 years ago. If this is basically a push with 2020, the Trump folks, if you offered them that at the start of the night, I think they would have taken it. We'll see what that remaining vote does.
I don't know what to think. It's still a toss-up. I need to stop checking my needs. This is making me mad. Arizona's not even fucking reporting anymore. What the fuck? Arizona. California's barely in. Yeah, it was kind of a given. You'd win that. And then it's just like the pseudo red ones, but they're like North Carolina. No, they're still 11%. 25% left for that. This is still a good ballpark. But Michigan is still fucking low. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is like it's going down. Remember, a lot of people mailed in their votes and voted early. I'm not sure if the vote in early will change anything. It's just really hard to figure out what's going to happen. Kind of why I'm like anxiously sweating that. She's not performing well, I'll be honest. There's still a lot of possibilities. How the fuck do you vote for AOC and Trump? That doesn't make sense. I'm not sure if it was worse this time 4 years ago. My brain is just all over the place right now. I can barely talk right now. It's really hard to keep up. Even the what did they just Idaho. Idaho is worth oh, North Carolina. This is very I'm not sure if I can keep reading this. Illinois drowning all by herself out there. Yep. Illinois saw something to report. Illinois? Yep. I think I know how this is going to go. Because they just gave it to North Carolina. It's at 90% chance of victory. But to win, Harris will probably need to sweep Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Blue state surrounded by all reds. Yep. But another thing is 16%, 65%, 31%. There's still more to be reported. Pennsylvania, on the other hand, is not looking No. So she won all these 3. It's really Pennsylvania, but it's not looking good for Pennsylvania. It's not looking good, Chad. Not looking good. Arizona still has yet to report. New Mexico. But look at this shit. Look at this. I can't even think. I cannot fathom this. Yeah, for the next 4 years. A 5 million point difference. Oh my god. This makes me sick. You can see how much I am. I'm not gonna get angry with you. My mind is not. Minnesota is barely reporting. It's taking a while because a lot of people early voted, which I don't get why. That's gonna deter a lot. Like this keeps jumping up and down, so I don't think that's a good indicator. It's gonna come down to the electoral system. That's ultimately what it's gonna come down to, which sucks. I hate things. California, why the fuck is California so good? Nevada hasn't even reported. No. Nor. Holy fuck. I'm calling it in 30 minutes. Yep. That's when Hawaii starts. Oh yeah, Hawaii, maybe Alaska, but.
Look at a few more things we're getting in. First of all, I want to point this out. This is what the national popular vote is right now. Now, customarily, we've seen this the last 2 elections, 20 and 16, that Trump has led in the tally of the national popular vote, well into the night. And typically what you see certainly is California comes in late, and it takes a while to get all the vote counted there. And that's just a millions of vote margin for Democrats. So certainly this is going to change, and we're just starting to get California in. But outside of the core battleground, there are a couple things that I want to flag. A couple states that it's awfully late in the night and we don't have calls on yet that I think a lot of folks might have expected we would. Let me start in Virginia, where 80% of the vote is now in. And Kamala Harris, you see, is ahead here by about 2.5 points in the count. But again, in 2020, this was a 10-point state for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. What's changed tonight? Where has Trump made progress in Virginia?
Oh yeah, Virginia's locked in.
Take a look here.
Sorry, I ripped
Loudoun
out.
County. This is one, if you remember that governor's race in Virginia in 2021 when Glenn Youngkin won, we talked an awful lot about Loudoun County, suburbs, exurbs of Washington, D.C., just lightning fast growth here. Biden won this thing by 25 points. It's been getting leaps and bounds more Democratic. Look what happened in Loudoun County tonight. What had been a 25-point win for Joe Biden comes down to a 16-point win. And again, Trump needs to be improving to win Virginia, on average by about 10 points in these counties. He comes very close
is-
to it there in Loudoun County. Take a look, Prince William County. This is a very densely populated and a very diverse county. Again, significant Hispanic population. Biden won this by 27,
A lot of
down
places.
to 18 points tonight. Just about all in there in Prince William County. Virginia Beach, we still have a lot of vote to come in Virginia Beach. And this is one, this is where Joe Biden won by 5. This is one when Glenn Youngkin became governor. He flipped and won. And Trump right now leading this by 6 points. Again, that would be an 11-point shift.
I'll just say
There's a
North
lot of areas
Carolina
here,
was
Trump would still
given
be
to Trump
even better in
last
if he were
year,
actually
so
going to overtake
last,
Harris here. But
like,
the fact
election.
that it's this late at night and Trump
The
has
blue
made,
wall is not
gains
looking,
that have held this so much,
especially with
so far,
Pennsylvania,
It's significant.
which
It's part of why that popular vote is
24% still remaining,
believe this hour we
and
thought Trump would have. Bigger reason though is this.
that
This
is
why I
about a
raised it.
million
New
votes.
York,
Right?
look, it's been called. Harris is going to win New York. Her margin is 12 points. Check this out. In 2020, it was 23 points for Joe Biden. With nearly 90% of the vote in, Harris is only winning this by 12 points. Now, first of all, from a national popular vote perspective, Biden won this state by 2 million votes in 2020. The margin isn't yet a million, and we're getting close to all the vote in New York. And I want to zoom in a little bit closer here because I think this is significant. Let's look at New York City itself. The 5 boroughs of New York City, they're each their own individual county. And let me just show you what's happened here. Overwhelming Democratic city. Manhattan, the most liberal county in New York, a portion of New York, 86-12, a 74-point Biden win, down to 63. Trump's made double-digit gains in Manhattan. Take a look at Queens, 45-point Joe Biden win in 2020, down to 24, a 20-point net gain so far for Donald Trump in Queens, New York. Take a look over at Brooklyn. 55 has come down to 43. Staten Island's very small population-wise. It is the Republican borough of New York City. And you can see even there, though, Trump has gained a net of about 20
Oh wow,
points
here's
with
one's
just
Connecticut.
about all the vote in there. And again, I flag that because we are seeing it in New York. Trump's gains with Hispanic voters, working class Hispanic voters. You're seeing it in New York City. It's being reflected in that statewide vote here, which has come down significantly. And even if you go across the Hudson River into New Jersey has 85% of the vote tallied. We have not yet called it. Now, Kamala Harris is ahead here by nearly 200,000 votes. But again, contrast this to New Jersey in 2020. This was a 16-point state. Tonight, it is a 5-point race with 85% of the vote tallied. The margin here in 2020 was
Oh, Minnesota's blue again,
100,000
thank
votes for
God.
Joe Biden. Tonight, it hasn't yet crashed.
Oh, thank
200,000.
God.
Again, that has potential national popular vote implications.
That gave
for
me a
those who are
little bit of
tracking that,
luck.
But I wanted to point out New Jersey. Again, we see Harris is in pretty good shape to win the state, but take a look at Hudson County. Hudson County, just across there, this is where Union City, New Jersey is, for instance. It's 80% Hispanic. A lot of small, densely populated cities in Hudson County with large Hispanic populations. Joe Biden won here by 46 points. Tonight it's 28 points. This is basically it in Hudson County, from 46 to 28. This is one of those giant core Democratic counties, New Jersey, the Democratic Party relies on. That's a massive, massive shift. And again, that speaks to Trump's gains, it really would seem, with Hispanic voters. So again, those are some of the states here that have bearing on the national popular vote. We saw the polls nationally much tighter than before. We wondered if Trump was going to narrow the margin in some of those big states. That is what we're seeing. I did want to follow up on Wisconsin, too, now getting close to 70% of the vote in. And yes, we were just talking about Dane and the question of what was left and could the Democrats here hit that margin that they got out of 2020. And it's true. Okay, well, here we go. Now we're up to 95%. So we just, since I checked in a few minutes ago, we got more. We're getting close to all of the vote in Dane County, 163,000. That's the Harris margin in Dane County, 163,000. In 2020, that was about 182,000. 182, 163. We'll see if there's any more votes to come, but when that hits 95%, there usually aren't. So again, if anything like that holds, boy, Democrats want to be at that number. This is where they've improved their performance every time for 4 years. Where Democrats have improved tonight, where Harris has improved, or it looks like she will, not much to come in Waukesha. Big county, 400,000 people live here. One of those wow counties right outside Milwaukee. And here again, Trump got, basically 60%, 60 to 39. Trump falling a point here so far. Harris rising a point over Biden. So that is progress for Democrats in a very big county. You take a look here at Ozaukee County. And again, this one, now we got about 3/4 of the vote in. And Trump is running a bit above, not much. It's basically level with his 2020 number. Again, this is one where Democrats want to get a couple points better, see what happens with that remaining vote. And we talked at the start of the night about, we say the WOW counties and the BOW counties here. Brown County, Outagamie County, Winnebago
Not till
County.
11,
mid-sized
so
cities along sort of the
there's
Fox
still a
River,
lot to
Winnebago.
count.
These are all
New
counties
Mexico was
Donald
called,
Trump won in 2020,
Colorado.
but with reduced
These
margins.
two,
Is he returning to 2016 levels,
like
or is he back
20
at
points right there.
2020 levels? So Outagamie County here, again, this is where the city of Appleton is. In 2016, when Trump won Wisconsin, he won this county by about 13 points. In 2020, when he lost Wisconsin, it was a 10-point margin. And tonight, as you can see, 67%. It's back at that 13-point spread right now. Now, again, votes still to come in Outagamie County, but I only flag this because we are seeing it in an awful lot of places tonight where Trump is returning to 2016 levels. These aren't always dramatic shifts, but Wisconsin's a state. When Trump won it, it was by 20,000 votes. When Biden won it, it was by 20,000 votes. So these kinds of differences can make all the difference. See what happens with the remaining vote there. But that's something we've been seeing in other
still
places in
here.
this northern tier of the battleground all through the night. Again, now up near 70%.
I'm just gonna lay in
very
bed,
close here, about
watch funny
67,000
videos.
votes. More to come out of those WOW counties, and we'll see if there's anything left there in Dane. But if that number doesn't move, that's a little bit
I'd
below, I think,
feel
where
like
Democrats wanted to be there.
At least people are gonna see how fucked up Trump is. At least the margin's getting closer. The red Murat. Red Murat. Red Murat. Fuck. Anyways, Battle Queen, hope your night goes well. I'm gonna call it because I just laid down. Take care, sleep tight. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna stream some. I don't know what to play. There's like three of the games I played. Call of Duty, Apex, and Fortnite have all had updates. So yeah. Did I get the? No, I didn't get the Overwatch. Or did I? I think I did. Oh fuck, that's a waste of money. Anyways, take care. Sleep tight. I'll see you later.